Hello my friends and welcome to another stream of Adobe Live. I'm your host Kieran Lewis, designer from London, and today we are doing all things about Adobe Express, and we have some of the top UK creatives fresh from the London straight into the Munich offices, such as creative designer and Adobe Express ambassador, I might add, who goes by the name of Hannah Walker.
Hi.
Hannah, how are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited to see your design process today.
I can't wait to share all my tips and tricks.
Yeah, I know you've got some awesome stuff planned out for us today, so it's going to be a very cool stream. As always, my friends, we'd like to see you all engaging in the chat, so we'll be on YouTube, on Behance. Any questions you have for the lovely Hannah, please do get those in the chat and I will make sure she gets them directly. And on a very final note, please don't forget to follow us on YouTube, Behance, at Adobe Live to catch up all the latest streams and updates. So Hannah, would you like to do a little brief intro for folks who don't know about yourself?
Of course. So I'm Hannah. I'm HTW Creative on socials, and my background is predominantly actually fashion design, so a little bit different to what we normally do here at Adobe. But in the last 2 years, I've really focused on graphic design, and I've gone into content creation too. So that's where I became an Adobe Express brand ambassador, and I'm going to be sharing some of my favorite things about Adobe Express today with you guys, and sort of how we can utilize it best as a small business or a freelancer or someone in the creative industry.
It's a solid plan. I love it. I love it. So there we go, my friends. You're in for a real treat. For the next 3-4 hours, we're going to be having various creatives today working on Adobe Express, just like Hannah said, just to basically streamline your workflow and make your life very easy. And just to share some love in the chat, because folks are all here for you, Hannah. We've got Sean, Olivia, Clever. Yes, my friends, as always, get those comments in the chat. So when you're ready, if you want to jump into Express, we can get cracking.
So I actually popped this into my online community to ask what you guys wanted to see and get out of today's session. And 33% of people said that they wanted to see habit trackers and planner style content from Adobe Express and how we can make that. And 52% of people wanted some more social media templates. So I've kind of gone with that. I think social media templates are so important. It makes everyone's life easier. It keeps all the branding cohesive throughout your socials. So I just think that's great. So I'm going to combine those two ideas, and we're going to work on a to-do list, because this is a bit of a trend at the moment. Everybody in the morning seems to be sharing their, here's what I'm going to be doing today, like meetings, things that aren't work related, just to sort of get to know their community, I guess. So I'm going to make a template for that. We're going to also show how easy you can move that template into a weekly to-do list as well, so you can keep that branding consistent. Cool. And then we might touch on a little bit of memes and things as well if we've got some
meme
time.
for us. Okay.
Because I do love a good meme. And memes are great to just kind of relate any pop culture moment to your brand and churn out some really quick content if you've got nothing to post for the day. So yeah,
that is a solid to-do list. So there we go, my friends. We've got an hour, but we're going to definitely cram in some awesome cool content in Express, like you said. By the way, I love that you did a poll to sort of get you to know your followers and what they want to see for today.
Love a good poll. That's also really good for community engagement, and you always want to make sure you're giving people what they want to see. So if you could do a poll, I'd say do a poll for anything.
You got a few tick boxes in our books already for the poll. So yeah, when you're ready, let's jump into it.
So what I just want to show to start with is that there are like a massive range of templates on Adobe Express. So if I go here and I put to-do list, it will immediately come up with all of these templates that are readily available. They're not quite the right orientation because I want to do it for a story, so some of them aren't quite possible. And they're not exactly what I'm looking for today. I want to make a new one and show you guys how to do it from scratch and show how easy it is. So what I'm going to do is go back to the home, and we're going to start with an Instagram story right here. So it already opens up the right dimensions, and it's perfect for you to just download and pop it onto your story when we're done. And then I like to start from the ground up. So I'm going to go into the background and sort of choose a color from here. I have got my brand templates already loaded on.
Nice.
So here I can just briefly show you. This is where you can add your brand libraries, and you can go in and that will have your logos, your color palettes, any fonts and templates that you've got. Cool. So I can show you how you can add a template at the end of this when we're done.
Sounds good.
So that's the background color I quite like at the moment. A little bit summery vibes, very hot here in Munich. So going with that sort of theme.
Nice.
And then I think I want to add maybe a bit of texture to the background. So I'm going to go into elements and then backgrounds and type in paper texture so that it gives it a little bit of depth. and just see what we've got here to work with.
Do you ever find that when you do type in your search, it's kind of like a fun moment of what's going to pop up next? You have no idea, right? It's like a kid at Christmas kind of moment. Yeah.
You never know.
Cool.
So they've got loads of readily available ones here. I quite like the look of that one.
That's cool.
So what I'm going to do is, I like the texture of that, but obviously it's quite harsh. So I'm going to go into the blend options and use screen. So it brings back to the colour that I had.
Yeah.
And then you've just got a little bit of texture there to work with. So I think I'm quite happy with that background as it is. And from here, I would then go on to adding text and things. And again, with the text, there's all of these pre-made templates. If you're like not so, experienced with putting two texts together and matching them properly, you can obviously use one of the templates that they've got. But I think I'm going to go ahead and use one of my brand fonts. And this is going to be our daily to-do list. So I'm going to write daily to-do list, and then I'm gonna sort of pop it really easily up at the top, like where I want it to be.
Nice. And
change that font to, I think, let's do.
By the way, it's very cool that when you were showing us just now the fonts, how if we're not too sure, what kind of fonts we like, we can see examples of things that go together.
Yes, and this has all of the Adobe fonts, and you can also upload fonts that aren't on here if you wanted to. You can download your own fonts and pop them on. Like, you can utilize any font you want for here. But this span compressed is one of my faves at the moment, so we're going to go with that.
It's a nice font.
And I think I want to make the daily part a little bit italic, so let's use the italic version.
Whilst you're looking for that, I can see some folks are popping in the chat and they're already liking what you're doing. We've got Lucy said, "Here you go, Hannah," in capitals. Yay. There we go. So you've got a few fans in the chat already, I can see.
Very nice. I'm going to put the letter spacing a little bit tighter as well, because that is just the vibe. So I'm quite happy with that. To give it a little bit more depth, I always forget to zoom in and I work really far out and I just make my life harder. But I'm going to add just a shape in here. So I'm going to go to the shapes, pop a little shape in, make it as like an underline sort of thing. Because I want it to be transparent and sort of like it's highlighting my to-do list. So I'm just pop that.
By the way, I think this is a great stream because I feel like we've all in some capacity got to-do lists, right? Whether it's a mental note or an actual physical one, it's not enough hours in the day, right? But it's we make it work.
So I'm going to choose that, and again I'm going to play around with the blend and use multiply so it kind of looks like a highlighter. And then I'm quite happy with the way that looks, and I think I want to pop a circle around the whole thing just to add another little design element to it there. So I can make that this shape. What I love about the shape elements is that you can change the fill colour and the border. So I want that to be transparent in the middle and then the border to be white. And then
it's pretty straightforward, the functionality, right? For anyone, especially from design background.
Very easy to use.
Nice.
If you know Adobe softwares already, it's super easy. If you're new to Adobe, you'll pick it up really quickly. So I'm quite happy with the way that looks. And I'm going to go in and start with my morning, afternoon and evening sections now. So we can add this to here, just do it like a white box, because I think you could either fill it out on Express or you could download it as just the template and type on your stories.
Nice.
Because that would be easier if you didn't want to have to download it every time. So either way, I'm going to pop this as white because you can just easily add a text on top of that.
It's very cool that you've kind of mentioned that example of we have options, right? If you then want to take it as a story, you can just type in. So there we go. I mean, there we go, friends. We're giving you examples of options you can work with as well. So
I think
we're all good. We've got some great comments in the chat. We've got Dave who said, always love seeing new ways to use Adobe Express. With great power comes great responsiveness. Yes, it does. Wink face. So we are a sucker for design puns here. Good for it.
I'm also going to add a little bit of texture to that as well, because I think just the plain white box is a bit boring. So I'm going to add like a grid paper.
Okay.
Because sometimes when it doesn't align up to the lines, it really gets on my nerves. So if we've got a grid, it doesn't really matter if it doesn't align, but it just gives a little bit of texture. So I'm going to make that really big because they're small.
Nice.
And then crop it. Maybe a little bit bigger even.
Whilst you're doing that, just in general, do you kind of live and die by the sort of to-do list or your to-do list?
No, do you know what? They are a guide for my day, and I hope to achieve everything on the to-do list, but it's more to keep me, to hold myself accountable. And I'm really nosy and I love to see what other people are doing. So
Okay.
I think that maybe people want to see what
Got a high my to-do list from you then, Hannah.
Who
Just
knows?
what are you
Who
looking
knows?
over?
I don't know.
Cool.
I'm going to drop the opacity there so that it doesn't interfere with the font when we're putting that on top, any of the wording.
Okay.
And then I'm going to just move this over so I can copy this. And I'm going to pop that so that we have our morning text there ready to go. I don't have to reset it up or anything.
Whilst you're doing that as well, just again for the chat, anything you would like to see Hannah do as well for us we're in this process, or if anything you'd like her to repeat, if there's a tool or something functionality, please do let us know in the chat and I'll make sure that I get over to Anna.
Okay. So this little bit, I'm a trackpad girly and it takes a little bit longer sometimes.
Sorry, we'll let you off, it's okay.
I just can't seem to get on with any specific mouse.
Oh, you're good. And also, a little bit, Tommy, this is your very first Adobe live stream, though. So, I mean, no, you're doing great. And again, that's it's great to have you on board. So,
Yeah, I'm much
thank
more
you for
used
joining us.
to editable content where I can edit out anything that I don't want to be in it. So this is my
this
first
is so fresh. You're
live
smashing it.
opportunity.
You're doing an
So
awesome job, don't worry.
quite happy with that little morning section there. So I'm going to copy it out and do the afternoon as the same. And then I'm going to use the align tool just to make sure that they're all snapped to the side. But well, they already are, so it's not coming up, so it's perfect. Yeah.
I do love your line tool for just for.
Oh yeah, so it makes life
practicality,
so
right?
much easier.
Definitely.
It's one of my favourites because you often think things are centralised and it's like a tiny
To
bit
the eye,
off,
right?
and then when
Yeah.
you print it or something and you notice, it's really annoying.
Designer's pet peeve, isn't it? Just like it's
And then I'm going to
attention to
do
detail.
Command D again just to duplicate that. And for evening, we shouldn't really be working in the evening, let's be honest. So I'm going to make it smaller. We are creative. Some people thrive in the evening, don't they?
Yeah.
So I'm going to pop.
I was always taught when
evening.
I was heard that I think that in some part of the world the evening for us is the morning somewhere else, right? So
True.
maybe that's a way of telling ourselves it's actually okay until it's 2 a.m. Then you're like, I should probably go to bed now. This
I'm
is
going to make
not
this a lot
cool.
smaller though.
Let us know in the chat. Are you an evening person? You a day
Early
person?
bird or a night
Yeah.
owl, yeah.
How do you like to work? Everyone each to their own. Each to their own.
Okay, awesome. So that's looking good. It's even now I feel like that's quite a strong template, but I want to add a little bit of something to it to spruce it up a little bit.
Cool.
And I think I want like a sticky note vibe for the goals for the day.
Nice.
And that doesn't have to be anything crazy. Like sometimes it might just be my 10,000 steps or drink 2 litres of water, anything like that. Or it could be to like smash a really important meeting that I've got. So I'm going to put sticky note and see what we've got in the elements available here. There's some design
Good collection,
assets.
though. Yeah.
Yeah, there's some good ones here. But I think that we could maybe create a better one using AI. So
Nice.
we're going to use text to image. I'm going to make it a square because I kind of want it to go in that little square gap in the bottom. And I think maybe like a sky blue colour would be cute. So I'm going to say sky blue sticky note. And I want a pin in the top. So it looks
Nice.
like it's on a pin board
It's precise.
with pin. And then let's just change that to photo so it looks realistic. And hit generate and see what it comes up with.
Simple as that. There we go. Just type in what you want and then
magic.
boom.
This is the magic.
And again, it's always helpful to have those kind of keywords, right? So that, again, it makes it easy for the computer to populate what you want.
The colour, what the item is, and then if there's a specific placement or something, I'd say, yeah.
Nice.
So these are quite cool. They're quite bright, so I might have to edit them just colour-wise. Just see what they've got.
It's good. It's got like a nice shadow as well, so it feels a bit more depth to it.
It
doesn't
feels
feel
like
a
it's been
stick on.
literally a photo of it, doesn't it? I think I quite like the first one. It's taking a little bit of time to make some more.
Whilst that's doing, I can see folks are sharing their experiences of if they're a day person, night person, when it comes to work, which is great. We've got Lucy said, I definitely a night owl. Or Sandrine also saying night owl as well. I feel a lot of night folks here actually. There we go. Maybe the best ideas come in the evenings. So yeah, I'd love to hear what you're saying. And again, I can see some new people are popping into the chat. So welcome Nikki, who we had Nikki last week as well. And also Lysandra is here as well. So welcome my friends, and as always, get those comments in the chat.
Oh, I think I've found the one that I want to use. I'm going to edit the colours slightly and I can show how I do that. But
Nice.
first I'm going to just use the remove background tool to get rid of anything that I don't want there in the back.
Cool.
So now it does actually look like a little sticky note that's going to be pinned on. And I'm going to go into adjustments and turn the brightness down a little bit, or up, sorry, just to make it a little bit softer. And mess around with the contrast as well, just so it's not so harsh a Harsher
Sean
blue.
made a very good. So we had lovely Sean, who was here last week actually, and he mentioned if a push pin is actually needed, maybe it's not sticky enough. But that's a good point. I didn't think of that actually.
True.
Very good
It's
point.
more for the aesthetic, Sean.
Of course, yeah, but it's work. I mean, maybe it's because we want to be definite that it's going to stay, right? We're just the plan B in us is like, no, it needs to definitely stay.
Exactly.
We don't have a to-do list without any stuff on it, do we?
I'm gonna pop that
Unbecoming.
And then since that's sticking on top, I'm gonna go with like a hand-drawn goals. There's loads of handwriting options available. Adobe handwriting, perfect.
Nice.
And make that a little bit smaller and pop it there. So there's not much space because really in one day, one goal is perfectly enough, to be honest. So we can pop that there.
I love that you said that for anyone who's like, when they freak out, I need to get several goals in one
You don't
day.
have to be doing the most.
There we go.
HTW.
Less is more, right?
Here I'm just going to add my Instagram handle at the bottom because this is good for when it's a template to add
Nice.
your consistency across your template. So I'll make it
Cool.
white so it's not super in your face, but it's there.
Mm,
So it's there just for people to see.
nice.
Okay, so I'm really happy with the general layout of that, and I want to go in and add some icons and like fun sort of emoji vibes to spruce
Jazz it
up.
up a little bit.
Yeah, so
cool.
I'm going to use elements, and if you search all, it will come up with any of the design assets, so any of the shapes, icons, whatever they've got available, but specifically want to use icons because I want to be able to change the colour to my brand colours.
Cool.
So in the morning, I guess we all have like a tea or a coffee, so let's have a coffee icon to go next to that one. These are all super cute.
And FYI, we're not exclusive to anyone who doesn't like tea or coffee as well.
No,
This stream is
if
acceptable.
you're a
for-
juice kind of person, that's
Or
also
water.
fine.
It's all good. We discovered today you're not so much a coffee person, are you?
I'm not
Which
a
is-
coffee, I don't like coffee
that's,
at all, but
It's quite refreshing from a creative.
I
It's,
do like tea. I'm a tea
Cool.
girl.
It's all right. We've got some mint teas in the building. There we go.
Something like
So
that.
off topic.
Cute. And then
Nice.
afternoon is maybe, I don't know, maybe you're really getting into your to-do list at this point. So it's like your journal or your workbook. So let's see what we've got if I type in journal. Oh, cute. So something like this.
Mm.
And again, it comes up in that colour that I've already pre-selected. Just pop
Nice.
that there. And then in the evening, it's not really for work. So maybe something a bit more mindful. We'll see what comes up.
Okay, that's nice. Yeah, reflect on the day maybe, or just a bit of yoga.
Relax.
Perhaps.
Let's see what
Yeah.
this says when I do relax. Yeah,
Beach
bit of
day.
yoga. There we go.
Yeah,
We've got a
there we
little
go.
yoga man. Perfect. So pop that there.
I feel like you're also giving us tips as well how we can really streamline
Utilise our whole
Yeah,
days.
there we go. I bet you're expecting this from Adobe Express. What are you today? We're looking at tools, tricks, and also how you can do your life.
So this is really coming together. I think I want to add one more fun pop to the top. And I want to be able to change the colour again. So I'm going to use a flower shape and make sort of like a fake sticker for the top. Just to give you a little reminder that you're like killing the day, you're smashing it.
Nice.
Change that colour to maybe like a light blue. Or yeah, I quite like the light blue. And we'll put some wording in that.
A little tip as well for anyone sort of very much new to this program, you'll notice on the color swatch as well, there's also ways of doing the color codes, right? If you find a color that you really like, you can enter your hex code and obviously get the actual colors you want. So it kind of caters for a lot of things within Express.
Just put that in a bit of more of a regular font, and I'm going to make the size a lot smaller. And I think I'll add a shadow to it too to give it a bit more of a sticker feeling. We want it to be on
Positive
the side.
vibes, I see. Nice.
Yeah, you're smashing it because
Just like you for your first stream. There we go. Boom.
Even just by completing your to-do list, you're smashing it. So
Very true.
add the shadow here. There's a few options here. I'm going to change the colour to be orange so that it pops a bit more. Maybe white. Yeah, I prefer white actually. And then you can change the angle. I don't know if you, let me zoom in.
Yeah, nice for our eyes.
If you can see that it's like moving around just to where you prefer it to be placed, I think something like that is best. You can also change the distance, but I like mine to be quite close. And then you can make it a bit more blurry as well, so it's less severe. So put a tiny bit of blur on, maybe one.
Nice.
So then it's good. And we can add a few more of those like fun stickers in.
Yeah.
And then I think we're done, to be honest. I think that
Absolutely
is
smashing it,
perfect.
nice. I like you've kept in track as well, like the sort of colour contrast, right? Legibility, which is something, of course, for accessibility for all. We're always a big part of that for Adobe and obviously the work that we produce. So it's nice that you've factored that in too.
Yeah, definitely. So add a little smiley, can't go wrong. Maybe a little proper flower. Something cute like that one. And then maybe a star.
You're making me question. I need to actually get a do list now. I just literally just plain piece of paper and just.
This is going to be a downloadable template for you.
There we go. You just plugged it and I love it. There we go. So you've heard it, my folks. If you see this and think, oh, this would be great for my everyday life, you can have a downloadable template. So you're sorted.
Something like that there. Yeah. I think I'm quite happy with that. I would probably download it, put it onto my Instagram story and fill it in from there. But as I said, you can literally just type in your own text, make it the handwriting font and put like coffee meeting, whatever else you might have that morning, client, feedback, something like that. Make it the handwriting.
I guess it's quite nice to have if it was blank, because again, when you put it on an Instagram, say, or any other platform, you can add links, you can add anything else in there that you can't necessarily do at this early stage. So yeah, flexibility of both.
The only thing about filling it in here would be that then you can schedule it to post and you wouldn't even have to think about it.
Very good point.
So if you're a day before to-do list person, that would be
that's definitely
that would be the benefit.
Good shout.
But I definitely make my to-do list the morning of. So
yeah, cool, nice,
beneficial to me. But yeah, so
fresh
I'm
in the
gonna
mind.
get rid of that. So that's the template done, and I'm gonna duplicate that and just show how going from a template is super easy to kind of remix it a little bit. If you're a weekly to-do list person, I'm gonna go here, click duplicate, go into that, and then literally really easily move that out the way, just so that I can get to the text. Change that to weekly.
Nice. Perhaps it's more manageable for folks in general. It's just less stress, right? When it's
you might be just a one-man band and you want to keep your audience updated, so you're just gonna throw out like the main objectives for the week. So or they know that you might have a calendar for events and you want to let all of your followers know what your events are that week. So you could even change it to like weekly events list.
Good shout.
And like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday kind of thing.
I've also loved that you kind of got the borderline underneath, the underlines of slightly overlapping the text. So it doesn't feel too neat and it's a bit more, hands-on, if that makes sense.
A bit more scrapbooky,
Got that vibe.
Delete these.
See some folks in the chat as well, always also agreeing and loving your design work. We've got Nikki, who said, "So cute, Hannah. Loving the grid paper texture." That is a good one, to be fair. Worked well.
So for the weekly one, I'm going to change the boxes up a little bit because I like to do lists downwards. It would be weird if you were putting things side by side, and obviously if it's long and thin, that's not the right orientation. So I'm going to make it like this.
Nice.
Monday. Probably do need a coffee on a Monday, so I might just leave that a little.
Or mint tea,
there.
like you suggested. Not everyone likes coffee.
Tea, all the things.
Very healthier. So
there
we go.
Tuesday.
And it's a nice reminder to say to our lovely folks in the chat, so about halfway through our stream now, and again, I'm seeing the lovely comments and questions in the chat, so please do get those in. And today's all about all things Adobe Express, and today we've got some top UK creatives such as Hannah, and we'll be looking all about how you can streamline your workflow in today's Adobe Express. So keep those questions coming, and look forward to seeing you in the chat.
I'm going to do 6 because I'm just going to have weekend as one.
Cool. Also nice for like an even.
Yeah, it would mess my...
I was thinking...
Yeah, wouldn't be able
we'll forget about Sunday,
that.
it's okay. We'll just work from Monday to Saturday.
Bring it all down a little bit.
Definitely overrated Sundays, that's fine.
But this is just sort of to show how quick it is to
amend.
If you've got a basic template, like you go from one of the Express available ones, this one's going to be available to use as well. It just is so easy to make content on the go. Wednesday.
I'm glad you mentioned that's a really good point, because even within this stream, it's just been half an hour, if that, you've kind of cracked up quite a lot of design work. And I think that's the beauty for why people are very new to this space as well, so that they don't get too overwhelmed and think actually it's quite a pretty straightforward tool to use.
Yeah. Thursday.
Random question, but do you have a favourite day of the week? Just now that I'm seeing days of the week in front of me, people tend to have one, if you do.
A Friday.
Is that Friday?
Yeah, you get that Friday feeling.
Fair.
And yeah, I think...
Yeah, Friday. Okay.
I think it'd be Friday. What's yours?
I like Wednesday. I feel like,
Hump
is that
Day.
weird? Hump Day, but also, it's gonna seem really random, but Wednesday for like when I was a kid in school reminded me of like PE day. So like I remember PE was a fun day, so it's stuck since the age of 12, rather than to what I am now, which I won't say on live on stream, but yeah, there we go. But Fridays are good days as well. Ready for the weekend, right?
I think everyone's on good vibes on Fridays.
Yeah.
So that's how I easily made that into a weekly one, and I would obviously change up all these as well to be different for each day. So I'd probably have, right, you're gonna help me here.
Sure.
So what emoji would we go for a Monday?
Ooh. See, I don't want to be like that stereotype of people hate Mondays, but then if we're creators, maybe we love what we do, so maybe it's not so negative. So I feel like it's the start of the week, right? So it's like the climbing the mountain.
So you do, maybe we leave the coffee because you need that little...
Maybe you pick me up. Yeah, that's a good shout.
Okay, Tuesdays.
Some people like coffee every day. It's like a big moment.
Another coffee.
No, because what could it be Tuesdays? It's maybe you're in the flow of it. So like maybe you're in the
laptop,
flow.
because you're in full workflow.
There we go. Laptop. And again, this is a nice for any sort of suggestions in the chat. Get it out there. I mean, this is definitely a stream for you folks. Any suggestions? Get them in the chat.
Maybe Wednesday is your it's hump day, isn't it? So let's see if there's a camel.
For anyone who doesn't know that term as well, maybe it's
go.
just explain. It's just that part
Hump
where
day, middle of the week.
Yeah, there we
hump.
go, and it
Here
goes
we go.
downhill. So
I think everybody knows that.
did I?
Thursday might be your content
Okay.
day. So
Cool.
let's do a camera.
Can you imagine if we removed the days of the week and just had the emojis? I wonder if folks would actually get.
Well, you'd get to know, wouldn't you?
You'd get to know.
If you lived by
exactly.
it. And then Friday, it might have to be a little drink.
I think you're gonna go on that part. It's all good.
Yeah.
Like a gin and tonic.
Something
If you don't
like
drink,
that.
there could be a mocktail. It's all good. We don't exclude her.
And then on the weekend, I think maybe like some sunglasses.
Yeah, time to detox, right? Digital detox. Put your feet up and watch Adobe Live. There we go. Boom.
Those
Nice
love heart
plug.
ones are cute. Yeah, so that's how I easily translated it to be now a weekly one.
Nice.
Perfect. So these are ready for me to download, put onto my stories straight away and upload each week or each day.
Boom.
But sometimes I do like to have a physical one print out. So this is not going to print out properly because the story orientation obviously isn't the same as paper.
Yep.
So you can literally in one click resize it to be the perfect size to print out. So I'm going to go resize up here. And then I'm going to use poster because that's 1117, which is a printable size. I think in America. Otherwise, I'd have to work out how many millimeters at A4 pages.
We wouldn't do it.
Don't know that off the side of my head.
We're not monsters here, don't worry.
So, and then I'm going to click duplicate and resize. So it keeps my story one. And literally, within 1 second, it's ready. It's added a little bit to the sides and made sure that it will print out perfectly still.
Nice. That's nice.
So it's so quick and easy to do that.
I love that you showed us that tool as well, because I feel like, again, even if when you do that and you think, oh, I'm not 100% happy with it, you can still edit it slightly.
Yeah.
But in a way, at least that the hard part's kind of done for you, right?
Just make sure you do the duplicate and resize and don't resize because you can't go back.
Can't go back.
Very easily.
Nice.
So, or you could duplicate it manually and then resize it, whatever workflow works best for you, but always duplicate your work.
You heard it first, my folks, my friends. Gems from Hannah on what to
Exactly.
do. Sweet.
So now I want to go on to doing a meme template because I just absolutely love a good
memes
meme.
at the top beginning, yeah.
And if we have time, I'll show a little bit of animation with a meme because that will add a little bit of depth to it. So I'm going to start this time with an Instagram post, square post, because it will probably be on the grid. So just like the square orientation.
Yeah.
And again, I'm going to change the background colour. I think I'm going to do like the sky blue. And obviously there has to be some sort of visual with a meme and then some sort of wording that goes with it. So I'll start with the shape to go around my image that I'm going to be using. So I quite like this.
Nice.
It gives like a retro
Yeah.
computer feel, like when it's a text box like this. And pop that in the middle. You can use the align tool up here as well, center, middle, to make sure that it's all
legit,
where it needs to be. And I'm going to change the border thickness to be a little bit skinnier.
Excited to see what meme you have in store for us, Hannah. You kept us on our tenterhooks from the beginning of the stream, but there we go. Sure, we all have a meme or two in the stream. There we go.
Don't put too much pressure on me.
I mean, it's all maybe because I've seen the meme beforehand, so maybe I know it's a good one, but you're in for a treat. It's good.
Keep that all within our branding, so I'm quite happy with that placement. I'm just going to put a placeholder for the text at the top so that we can see how it's all going to be looking together. I'll probably put the text in the center. Make that the same as my branding.
Nice.
I think, I want span condensed.
And you just whilst you're doing it as well, just a question going back at the beginning of the stream, you mentioned obviously as well you're an Adobe Express ambassador, right?
Yes.
So how's that been going?
It's amazing.
Yeah?
The community is amazing, and learning all of these new tools and things and speeding up my work process has been fab. So
Nice.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, you're in good hands with the community here, which is great, and when it's you meet new folks as a result of the events we have as well, which is very nice.
I think as a freelancer, you often get caught up with just working by yourself at home a lot. So to have that community and meet new people all the time. I've met far more people in design than ever before since I've been an ambassador. So it's definitely great. I'm in the right place. Yeah, I'm in good hands.
Of course you are. Yeah. Great.
Text a little bit smaller. Okay. And then you obviously, I want to make it look like some sort of social media post within a post, if that makes sense. So I'm going to add a few icons because I like seeing those on memes. I think they're quite cute. So again, I'm going to go back into the icons and do a like the classic thumbs up.
Yeah.
I think white is good for that.
Yeah.
And pop it down in the bottom corner. And then I'm going to do send. So it's like that DM one. Yeah, the little flag,
nice.
the little paper plane, is it?
Yeah.
Is it a paper plane?
Yeah,
I think so.
I'd say so.
Make that a little bit smaller.
Definitely getting retro vibes now. Paper plane in school.
Yeah.
There we go.
And then a heart. Yeah, nice retro heart. And lastly, I'm going to add one of those save icons as well.
Nice.
So that people remember to save it. Well, this also prompts people to like it, send it to people and save it, so it helps with engagement.
Nice. I can see some folks who are actually just tuning in now, actually, which again, you are very much in a good stage with us. We've got sort of 20 minutes left, but again, when we've done all our streams today, you can always recap as well if you have just joined. But just to let you know, today is all about Express, and we have the wonderful Hannah walk with us working through Adobe Express and showing us ways we can streamline our design process. So welcome. And any questions you have for Hannah, please get this in the chat.
I'm going to make this a little bit smaller. I'm adding the branding again in the bottom. So if someone, because with memes, people do share them a lot. They might put them on their stories. Same with quotes and things. It's always good to pop your logo or your branding in there just to remind people.
Am I right in saying that is your Insta handle as well?
That is my Instagram
Nice
handle.
little plug there. There we go.
Cheeky plug.
Folks, you're good for it. It's all about your stream, so you are good.
I actually changed that colour to green because I think that's better. So quite happy with the way that looks. With the actual text and the image, I think that could be quite a cool meme. So I'm going to now upload an image. I think we'll go with this one. Because this guy is so memeable. And
Is that a word? Memeable? Oh, wow.
What I may have just created.
That works, though, really well. My brain's thinking, straight away I was like, is that a word? If it's not, it should be.
I don't think it is. I'm pretty
Trademark
sure
it,
it's
right?
not in the dictionary.
Let's trademark it anyway, but yeah.
And I'm going to use the crop tool to make sure that it's got the rounded corners.
Cool.
Like what I've got here. And then I'm going to make it a little bit.
That's the look of a person who's absolutely blitzing the to-do list, clearly.
Exactly.
You can see.
So there we go. So I'm going to pop that to the back, send to the back. And then just sort of align it to make sure that this box does a nice little outline for it.
Whilst you're doing that, we've got a great question there from Sean. He said, would you ever sort of lock some of your elements on your template? So I guess if you're moving things around, nothing sort of shifts, would you ever tend to do that, or you just
I think
put into back?
with some of them, yeah, with like the to-do list, you could lock the whole of the back into place and then just pop all your text on the top. And then especially when you're making clients' templates, sometimes they might accidentally move things around and then not necessarily know how to pop them back easily. So if you lock everything in place and then just make the things that you want them to be able to change editable, that's a really good tip, yeah.
Nice. And great question as well, actually. I think that's good for anyone new in this space.
I'm gonna just move the spacing for this guy down a little bit, just so you can see those emojis. So something like that. And then this will be when you see has dropped a new meme template on
Nice.
Express. Something like that. It could be related to literally anything.
I love it though.
Memes
Yeah.
are amazing.
It's so on brand right now. Like what we're doing as well.
Love it. And there we go. Something like that. Perfect. Might make it even a little bit bigger. And I'd probably again like go in and make some of it italic, just so that it.
Do you ever find as well? I guess because obviously with Express, it's quite intuitive, especially if you're from a design background. Sometimes it feels quicker to actually do like stuff for Insta or any social media via Express sometimes than even going on InDesign Photoshop, no? Do you ever find that? Because it's all there and it's just on the go.
Especially from templates, I would say, yeah.
Okay.
I think so, definitely.
Know.
Easier graphics and quick stuff, definitely.
So we're not exclusive to just folks just starting out. Even if you're a seasoned pro, you can very much still use Express because it just makes life whatever
For content, 100%, I would say it's easier.
Nice.
I'm going to bring that back down here, and I'm happy with all of that placement, so I'm going to group it together, Command G, or it comes up at the top as well.
Cool.
So that when I move it just all like, I can also make sure that it's centered, which already is. So yeah, so that's a meme template ready.
Solid.
And we can now duplicate this, and I think to have for every social media post that you want to do, post type, I think maybe 3 different variations of the template so that your grid is a little bit mixed up.
Yeah.
It's not all the same every time. If you posted every single meme with the same background, it would be a bit tedious. Yeah. So we're going to duplicate, and I'm going to show you how you can quickly ungroup that. Maybe you would take that border away and literally just make this as like half the page.
Okay.
I'm going to crop it differently, just like back to its original, so that it doesn't have those rounded.
Whilst you're doing that, we've also got Sandrine. He also agrees regarding how basically easy it is to use this tool. We've got Sandrine who said, really easy to brand things in Express rather than anywhere else. So yeah, very good shout. It really is.
I'm going to bring that down.
I think also as well, we were touching on a bit of last week, is that even when you're using, say, Express and you think you want to do some more, maybe fine-tuning of some design work, you can always bring it back into Illustrator or one of your programs as well, which is nice to know, right? It's that flexibility between the different programs.
Yeah. It's very good to use, like, mixed in with other things. I'm going to show that briefly at the end.
Sounds like a plan.
I think we'll have time, so
Hey.
I can show you how you can take illustrations straight from Illustrator.
Nice.
Without having to save them all as separate assets or anything. You can just pop them straight in.
Nice.
So there we go. Like, with literally within 2 seconds, that's a whole nother meme template now.
So, and it's still got the same look and feel, isn't it?
I'd
as the
probably
previous?
maybe change these to the green colour, so that then it matches back, because the other one had the green outline. So now you've got like a second meme. These will all be as well available on the templates, because I will share them.
Have you got a favourite out of 2, just out of curiosity? Is that one
Out of the 2 templates?
Yeah, one that kind of resonates with you?
The first one I really like. Yeah, it gives that retro feel.
Yeah, the border though.
And the rounded edges, I think. So I think that's my fave. Cool. But this was also does the job.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is how I would do that. I'm gonna also, I think now I'll show how I would take something from Illustrator.
Nice.
And then I'll touch on the scheduler afterwards.
Sounds like a plan.
So we're gonna make one more meme.
Cool. You're treating us today. We've been
Do
meme day. Do love it. Do appreciate
Duplicate that page. And I'm going to put just a blank box in place because I add some illustrations.
Cool. We've got some folks who are, again, loving what you're designing, Hannah. We've got Richie said, well done, guys. This is looking amazing. So folks are liking your memes. So we didn't big it up too much at the beginning. It was just like, I knew it'd be a winner. So there we go.
No,
it's looking good.
Press.
No press, but you're good.
Pop that in there. Ooh. I'm just going to send it to the back. I think I want it to be white. I like the white and the blue. They look nice together. And then I'm just going to change my @ to be another colour so you can see it. Yeah, make it a little bit smaller as well for this. Actually, I think maybe sky blue because it doesn't need to be too in your face, but people will still see it. And then these can go right into the bottom corner. And what I'm going to do is, in a new window, I'm going to start from my content. And this is an Adobe Illustrator file. So I'm going to open it. And I'm going to open as a new file so it doesn't edit anything, the back end on my computer side.
Nice.
It takes a little second.
Of course, got to work its magic.
Thinking.
It is very cool that you can have these programs that kind of like integrate with one another.
So this is one of my favourite things about Express, because usually I would have to save everything separately to be able to make sure that they were all movable things. And now you can just do this straight away and they're all there separate.
Nice.
Some of them sometimes groups a little bit differently to how you want them, so you just would ungroup, but as you can see it's literally all of the illustration elements separate here.
Nice.
You can always ungroup them, but I want that to be together because that's all going to be one thing and one animation, so Command G. I want all of that to be together, Command G. I want this should say passport. Sometimes the fonts, if I don't download the right font and have it on my Express, it might go like that, but just quick fix.
Great illustrations, by the way, I might add.
You.
Yeah, we can just have some love on your illustrations.
Thank you.
Don't let that go unnoticed. It's looking good.
Just girly things. I'm going to copy those and go back to that meme template that I've got going and pop them in. And then just sort of put them in a format that I like the look of. Maybe put the passport on its side a little bit, make it a tiny bit smaller. They're not really in proportion, but...
So are these, just out of curiosity, are these based on like your own objects that you own? Like where do you start from? Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Definitely. Things that I love, objects that I own, and things that I do, like have my nails done.
And obviously I'm guessing there's mint tea in that coffee cup, right? Not actual.
It's actually chai latte.
Ah, there we go.
One.
Silly mistake to make on mine.
Chai latte and a sweet treat. Yeah.
Cool.
A croissant. So something like that, and then I would change the wording to be... This is one of my favourite memes.
Whilst you're doing that as well, it's a nice reminder we are on the literally home stretch, the final 10 minutes, my friends. So anything you would like to see Hannah design in the flow of Express, or any questions she has, or any things you'd like to see her repeat, if you missed anything out, please do let us know for our final 10 minutes.
So I'm going to pop that there. And that's
Nice, I've got bills to pay.
And that's obviously my bills.
These are the bills.
My monthly outgoings.
The essentials, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm going to change the letter spacing again. I really just love that condensed font at the moment, so I just want that to be a bit like that. And...
I've got to ask, if out of all those assets, I mean, if there's one thing you had to just pay for,
if I could only spend money on one thing...
That you've got collections there, no pressure.
It would be travel, so the passport.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's pretty important.
Yeah,
I was going to say...
Everything else can wait.
You can live without a croissant, but yeah, cool.
And I'm going to change
Good
that
choice.
to be the italic.
I think it's chai latte, but you went passport. Good.
And then spread that one out a little bit more. Letter spacing, there we go. And then I'll add a space in there. Ooh. There we go.
It's nice that you kind of picked out the word bills now, just like a bit more.
Just to make it a little bit, and like that's cool. I could definitely post it like that, but to make it pop a little bit more, I'm going to add some animation.
Pop, yeah.
And because I've grouped these elements together separately. So there's 4 different elements here, essentially what the program thinks it's just 4 things. I'm going to animate those separately, and I'm going to do it looping so that when I post it, it's just consistently moving. It doesn't stop and then rejig and start again.
Cool.
So I think, I don't know, let's try a few different ones. Like there's a flicker one that you can do. That's more like a neon light vibe, isn't it? There's the float one. That's quite cool, especially with the hot drink. So maybe we can use that. But it's quite fast, I guess. So I'm going to alter the intensity and the speed. Yeah, a little bit slower. I think if I put music behind it or something, it would look quite funny.
Why do like Destiny's Child bills come to mind straight away? My brain, I was just like, what song related to bills?
You already know.
I already know.
And then I'm going to again go back to loop, maybe do like pulsing for that. And that's way too quick, so I'm going to slow down the speed again. So it's just like a little movement because it will catch if you're scrolling past it, you'll probably stop and look more. And I'm going to add a different one to this again. What else have we got?
It's cool that you're sort of showing us as well. I mean, again, for those who are very, very new to this space, you're seeing how each animation works. But again, you have a little bit of control with the sort of attributes that you can do out of the spacing and the speed and intensity as well. We're not creating feature-length movies, but we can do
I'm
short
no
and sweet.
animator.
Yeah,
Animation is not something I know how to do at all. And so this is a massive game changer for me. Yeah.
Nice.
And then finally, what loop can I do for the last one? Maybe a breathe. Yeah, nice breathe. Yeah, so that's something like that. So now, when they all work together,
there's so much happening.
Moving.
Yes.
And it's like gonna keep you engaged much more.
I love that.
You can also do the same one for everything and then they all just move together, but I quite like the difference and seeing the different things. So now that's ready. You can either download it as a MP4, put it onto your phone and then schedule it and put it on whenever you're ready to post it, or you can actually use the content scheduler in Adobe Express. Post it, make a caption, everything, and then forget about it, and it does it all by itself. So I'm going to really quickly, I know we've only got a little bit of time left, but sort of talk about how I use it when I go on holiday. I wish I was more organised and had my content scheduled for like the next 3 weeks, but it's a thing for me that saves me when I go on holiday because sometimes you don't have service.
Of course.
And you don't really want to be like, putting your head under a towel when you're in the sun, like trying to post
You enjoy yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's great to use the content scheduler here. I think it's going to load.
Got some folks who are joining in that last tell, which is still nice. So I can see Claddy has just popped in the group. Hello, Claddy, how are you doing? Keep those questions going. We've got our last final 5 minutes. But again, like we said, for anyone who has missed the majority of Hannah's stream, you can always re-watch. We're not monsters, you can re-watch our stream. So there we go. That's how nice we are.
So here I've got my 2 platforms, Instagram and TikTok, ready.
Cool.
So I would like pop it onto my Instagram. And it's going to be as a post, but you can also, if it was a reel or a story, there's also an option for that. And you can like have a little preview here just to see that everything's working how you want it to work. And then I don't really know what caption to write because I've already had to think of the copy for the memes. So I'm going to try and use AI and it will just do it for me.
Okay.
So I'm going to write funny.
We've used all our brain power for the meme. I love that. So we're going to have some help to
funny meme.
create a comment. Great caption.
Post showing my girly bills. Generate new caption. It takes a little second.
Oh wow, the options. Crikey.
So then, literally, I don't normally do captions that long, so I take like little elements from it. I'll put insert, and then you can edit it however you want. Add some hashtags, take away the hashtags.
Nice.
You can also add a first comment. So some people I know like to put the hashtags in the comments and not have them in the post. Or you could just be your biggest fan and put the first comment in there. And then once you're happy with all of that, you can go down and either publish now. So if you didn't want to have to download it onto your phone and do all of that, you can just publish it straight away. Or you can go and schedule it for when you're happy for it to be posted. So here you have the whole calendar, I think, for forever. I actually think it's,
so I love that's so like precise.
You can literally post
forever.
For forever and ever.
Yeah.
So say I wanted to post this on September the 12th. at whatever time. I always find posting really early in the morning is great, like 7:30ish, because people on their way to work then tend to get it. If they miss that, then they get it at lunchtime. So that's perfect. And then you would either press schedule, or if it's still an idea and you need to get it signed off by somebody, you can click the save as draft and then add it to draft.
Nice, and come back.
And it will actually now show up. I'll go into the content scheduler here. And I put it for September 12th, didn't I? Here. It'll actually show up there. And now that's there ready. I can just drag it. If I wanted to post the week before on the Thursday, the 5th. Can just drag it and drop it.
I love that it gives you your own calendar already in the program, right?
So you can use this as like a draft for your content calendar as well if you didn't already use another software for that. Even if you don't actually post, you can just use it as a draft just to see how everything's going to lay out and then go onto your phone and post it from there. It's sort of double work, but
nice.
I just think it's great.
You have
it's
more
amazing.
control, don't I, right?
It's
I think
so
that's
much more control, so much more control,
I love that. I can see some folks in the chat, like Dave, for example, who just said this schedule is so good. So I feel like folks are getting a flow, getting a flavour of how you're working with it and making it easier as well, even more importantly.
Exactly. And then going back to the memes. In fact, let's go back to one of these ones.
It's hard not to smile, though, when you
So I just want to touch on this because I know I spoke about brands before, where you can have all of your assets in one place really quick to just gain access, so you don't have to keep popping your logo in separately. Like if we were working with maybe Photoshop or Illustrator, I would probably be going into loads of different folders to find all the different things every single time. But here they're all in one place. And this is using my personal branding, but if I wanted to change it to like a passion project branding, you have the option to literally one-click apply brand, and you can either do colors, fonts, or one or the other, or both. So I really like the fonts that I've used, so I'm not going to select that. I'm just going to use colors, and I'm going to show you how it literally in one click it's obviously AI, so it needs a visual eye too. So you can just keep clicking until you're happy with the new color, and that's now on brand for a different kind of literally one click. That's cute.
That's interesting. That works.
Straight away. And then if I did want to do it with the fonts, it just changes all the fonts to my other brand straight away, and you just keep clicking
Retro vibes from that one,
until that's fun.
You
just keep clicking until you're happy with it. So this
that's
is
so much time though, in terms of like
so much
to go through
time.
each one.
It's absolute game changer, that one.
Very cool.
Like we can do the same thing with the weekly to-do list.
Got some great comments. We've got Dave again. He said, I also love that you can convert a CC library to brand for Adobe Express, which is obviously what you demonstrated before in Illustrator. So it's all in sync. It's all in keeping in the Adobe space. It just makes life so much easier, right?
Yeah, it will come up in your libraries, and it's just they all work together. It's just making our life way easier.
Of course.
But again, like this is just showing with a bit more elements to the page how you can apply both the brands and the fonts. This might throw off it because the sizing and stuff, but it just takes a few tweaks.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And immediately you've got your new...
Solid. I feel like we've covered so much in today's stream. I can see as well we got a great comment from Nikki saying just before we wrap up, I cannot wait to schedule all my content forever, because I feel like forever, literally. There is no end date. There is no end date.
Yeah.
So my friends, that is literally today's, for Hannah's stream anyway, of course. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for everything in the chat. And up next, we're going to have a brand specialist and logo designer, Oliver Spicer, who will be sharing his design process using Express, like we just done with Hannah, who will be hosted by the legend that is Tony Harmer. So stay tuned, and we'll see you back in 2. Ciao.
Bye.
Hello there, everyone. Hope you're having a great day so far. It's me, Tony Harmer. If you've never met me before, Google me. That's the best you can do with the afternoon after seeing the amazing Ollie Spicer. Hello, mate. All right?
Hey, how you doing?
Good, thank you very much. So, we've got our lovely communities here on Behance and on YouTube. So, hi everyone. Do get involved in the chat. Pop us some questions across and comments. That's what we're here for. And what you're going to be showing us today, Ollie?
So today I'm going to be running through a little illustration that I made in Adobe Illustrator, and then from there I'm going to show how I can schedule it using Adobe Express.
Nice, I like it. Well, we can take that away, and while we're working along, we can find out a bit more about you and where we can find more of your stuff. How does that sound?
Sounds perfect.
Let's do it then. Okay.
Great.
Right. So while you're getting started, I'll just say hi to Lucy. Is in the chat. Hi, Lucy. Can you make that in yarn? And Oliver Andrews is here as well, and Sean Kozel is here. Jane, hey up, Jane. Sandrine, Angus, hi, clever. You've got loads of great people here. Michelle's here as well. Fantastic. All joining us on behanceB.net/Adobe Live. And Kieran in the other room there as well. So, right, let's go. So, what we got?
So, I am drawing a toucan.
Uh-huh.
Don't ask me why. I'm not entirely sure, but I'm going to go with it. Because a toucan, exactly. So, first thing I do is I always start on pen and paper. It's just, for me, it's my my go-to. It means I can just be really fluid and just quickly sketch things up. And then once I'm ready, I then drag in the, I'll take a terrible photo, as you can see there, and put that into my Illustrator. And the first thing I want to do is just reduce the opacity so that I can quite easily start beginning my sketches over it.
Okay, cool.
So I have this in my first layout, which I will lock just so it doesn't interfere. And then my second layout I'm going to call outline, and that's going to be where I now use the pen tool to create the outline of this character.
All right. That's Sandrine saying some shadow play here with your photo. It's a bit Hitchcock, that is. I think. I feel I've got one in mind later on, but I'm missing out a shadow. I'm missing a trick.
Yeah, you're completely missing it. So I begin by taking away the fill for my pen tool and just adding a 7-point stroke. Then clicking into my stroke, I can then round off my cap and round my corners as well.
Good stuff.
And from here, I will just simply go in and begin tracing around my design.
Yeah.
I then sort of hold, don't know what you'd call it, I'm using a trackpad here, but basically as you're dragging, you can curve your lines.
Yep, using the control handles.
Yep, control handles, that's the one. So then create these nice curves.
Okay.
And because I'm doing, I don't need my all of my lines to be connected, because you'll see further down the line I'll use something called the Live Paint tool.
Okay.
So they don't all need to be one path, which is very useful.
As long as they're all connecting nicely, it's they're overlapping enough, then that's enough for Live Paint to recognise those sectors, right? So how long have you been doing this, Ollie?
So over 10 years now.
Okay.
I never went to uni, but I did my sort of A levels. Which I guess is sort of college for other places. And I just decided I didn't want to go to uni to continue studying. So I instead just got myself a normal job, and whilst working in my free time, I would just begin to learn Adobe software. Yeah. And in particular, Illustrator has always been one that's stuck out for me, just because I enjoy drawing and stuff like that. But I also wanted to go into a sort of more of a graphic design field, so things like logos and branding. So that for me just made the most sense. And I think the good thing as well with being self-taught was that it allowed me to just take so much time and experiment and learn the software. Illustrator's just got such a extensive toolkit that you can just, there's so many different ways to come to a final outcome, which is just part of the beauty. There's so many different ways, and yeah, it's just I'm always learning. Even though I've been doing it for sort of 10 years, I still find myself finding out about a new tool, which I then post on over on my socials that everyone else then hopefully gets to learn as well. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So question for you then. Okay, and as you know from the green room earlier, I'm well known for my trick questions. So my question, how many tools do you know how many tools there are in Illustrator?
Wow.
That's a hazard guess.
That's a tricky one. Oh,
and I've got a bonus question for you as well. Not that has anything to do with the way you're operating it. It's just a piece of fun trivia, really.
I'm gonna go with maybe 130.
Well, let's hope it never gets to that, really. But but that's a better guess than most people do on average. Most people say like, I don't know, 30 or whatever. There's I think now the count is 88. So Jane in the chat saying 73.
I was going to say 77. And I
Sean
wish I
is saying 88. Oliver Andrews is saying 1 million.
It does feel like that
maybe
sometimes.
I was going to say, it looks like that to new users, right?
Yeah.
It's just, having to fly a jet plane sometimes, when you look at a thing. Tim, always the card, is saying 73,246. I love the precision in that, and also on your photo. I wondered if the shadow was on purpose to draw the hand holding the toucan. That would have been a neat idea. It's 88. All right, here's my bonus question then.
Okay.
Where's the tool that you can't find in the toolbox? Do you know what it is?
The tool you can't find in the toolbox?
Yeah, there is. One of those 88 tools isn't in the toolbox. I know people call everything a tool these days, but it's an actual tool.
Yeah, see, that's the...
So, but you can't find it in the toolbox. Do you know where it is? It's not an exam, by the way.
No, I know.
You could say anything at this point. It wouldn't really matter.
No, I'm not entirely sure.
No? I'll leave it open to the chat. I want to see what the chat knows as well. Let's test them at the same time.
It's not the preview and outline, is it?
No.
Okay.
No. Dave's saying 42, 32.5, 12 a T. Some of the chat coming through a little bit later there. Oh dear. People call me a tool sometimes. Oh, Oliver. Should be lens flare. Oh my word, lens flare.
That was a tool, wasn't it?
So come on, in the chat, because I know that some of the lovely community here like to be super, super smart with some of their stuff. So, that's on the chat on YouTube as well. I'm watching you there. Hi, Kirsten, by the way. Yeah, see if you can tell me where the tool is that isn't in the toolbox. And we will see. So that's shaping up nicely.
Yeah, the pen tool can be quite a daunting tool when you first start. And something that I've always found works for me is when it comes to creating your paths is you've created your first line here. You want to make sure that you're extending beyond a certain part. So if I do this part here, for example, if I then I don't want to get to this point where I want it to be. I want to go beyond so that then I can continue using the anchors.
Yeah.
Just so that you can keep a nice consistent flow.
Yeah.
With the line strokes.
Yeah. Gareth Hanks in the chat is saying, "Is it page turn?" You card.
Is it tabs?
No.
I recently found that, and I had never used it before, and it's actually quite useful.
No, it's I'll tell you where it is. It's the pattern tool. The pattern tool only becomes available when you actually make a pattern using the pattern command. So,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then you see whenever have you made a pattern in Illustrator before?
Yeah.
So when you do that and you get the dialog box on the right hand side where you can specify, all of the different bits about the pattern.
Ah, yes.
That you've got a small tool down at the bottom there, and that's the one that doesn't live in the toolbox. There you go. So if there's ever if there's ever an Illustrator quiz,
I'm gonna get it.
You're gonna knock that one right out of the park.
I wonder if there ever is Illustrator quizzes out there.
Well, there used to be InDesign ones, so with user groups, they're kind of fun.
I think they would be, but then there would be so many different answers for like Illustrator. If someone was like, "Oh, how would you create this?"
Oh, well, that's a sort of a broader question, really.
Yeah,
But I mean, you could ask questions like, where would you find the non-zero winding rule in Illustrator? That's always a good one.
Yeah.
That for me is one where if I talk to people about this, they say, "Oh, I'm a expert in Illustrator," and just think, okay, and then where do you find the non-zero winding rule? And not that being an expert in something stops you from,
it's true,
doing what you're doing right now. You don't have to be an expert to do that.
No, and it's actually quite interesting as well that with some of the content and stuff that I make on my account and stuff, I will have people that message telling me that they've been in the industry for over 20 years, and this is the first time they've ever even seen this tool before and stuff. And I think, again, with Illustrator, you can find your way of working, and if it works for you, you don't necessarily have to be constantly changing up. Which is, again, what's
I mean,
great.
the thing that you are clearly an expert at here is the way you're handling that. You're ripping through that nicely, and that's the important bit. You don't have to know the tool inside and out. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
No, and I mean, I think there's also a few different ways that you can work around using outlines as well.
Yeah.
So some people like to use the curve tool instead of
the curvature pen tool.
Yeah. Just because that sort of eliminates some of the trickiness that you can sometimes get.
Yeah.
Because you can just quite easily just create curves.
Yeah.
As opposed to making them yourself.
Yeah.
So if that's what
that's
you
my
want to
default
do.
drawing tool these days, by the way. It has been for a few
Oh,
years.
really?
Yeah, I love it.
Nice. Yeah, I find I don't use it as much, but again, that's just force of habit more than anything.
Yeah.
I've got so used to using the pen tool now.
Yeah. So you build out. You've got a few tutorials and things on your Instagram, and you're building up a YouTube channel right now. So
I am, yes, which is predominantly going to be a lot more of things like this. So I'll be sort of just showing my design processes and just trying to continue to teach and learn because I mean I enjoy finding new tips and tricks, and I quite like then showing people what is it that they say, you don't want to gatekeep or whatever it is. I think nowadays you can, there's so much out there that, like I said, I didn't go to university to study. I learned Illustrator through just being in the program for so long, through YouTube
experience,
and working in the industry for the last 10 years. And I think that's, but then what I enjoy doing as well is just then sort of being one of those people in the community that can help and teach and stuff like that.
Yeah. In fact, Sean in the chat was asking just a few moments ago, does Ollie use the curvature pen tool? And then immediately followed it up with answered.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great tool, and I think it's something that there's 100% a reason to use it, then definitely use it.
Yeah. It's not a replacement for the tool you're using. It depends on what you're doing. That's the
100%,
thing.
yeah.
But what also I want to just point out, just to the audience that are watching, that a moment ago you switched into outline mode.
Yes, sorry.
There, and then you were just no, it's all good.
Yeah.
Then you were lining things up to make sure that they properly connected, so they were
Yes.
actually there, so there's no actual gap. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's important for the next step once I finish with the outline, which is the live paint.
Yeah. So maybe next time you drop into that mode to just join those up, if you just
I'll just
we'll mention it next time. I can do it for you. I can mention it if you're busy doing what you're doing.
Yeah, so I am got quite a bigger illustration than I probably should have went for an hour, but I want to see how much I can get done. I think
you're doing good so far. Really good. Yeah, no, you're doing real good.
Awesome.
You can just relax and just go with your normal flow, so we're all good. And let's see, and the YouTube chat, Zubair is asking, how can we design using AI with prompts? Well, you can use prompts inside of Illustrator and in Photoshop to generate content, to get your ideas started, and indeed in Adobe Express too. So, and there we go, we're in the outline mode again.
I am in outline mode, so I would say that keyboards vary. So I'm using a German keyboard at the moment, so this is slightly different. Normally it would be Command Y, or you can head up to View and Preview, which changes from outline to preview. And all that does, it just removes all of the paths, so it just becomes a single stroke, essentially.
So you see the actual path, not the appearance that you put
that's
on
the
it.
one. The appearance of it. And then from there you can then go in and just adjust to make sure that all of your paths are connecting.
And Dave's asking in the chat, on a drawing like this, would you always use the standard line style, or would you finish with a brush style to make it look more pencil-like, or pen style type?
I think it's purely down to preference at the end of the day. I tend to use just a standard brush style, and then what I actually like to do, and what I do with this design, is once I'm done with it, I will outline it and expand it, and then from there I'll then sort of add a little bit of a roughness to the overall lines, just to make them almost feel a little bit more pencil-like. But once I get to that stage, you'll see what I mean. It's a really easy thing to do as well, which is great.
Nice. So your first time here with us on Adobe Live.
Yes.
So kind of welcome, I guess. Really, I should have maybe started.
Yes, thank you. It's been great so far. It's been great to hang out with some of the other people as well that are going to be live today. It's been a lot of fun.
And it's quite nice here in the Munich studio as well. It's such a lovely day outside, up on the terrace.
I think I foolishly decided that it was going to be the same weather as what we always get in the UK, so I didn't bring any shorts.
And it's hot.
I immediately regret it now, because it's almost 30 degrees. So but it's fine. You live and learn.
Yeah, it is really, really super warm.
Thankfully, there's a fan in here, though.
There
Otherwise,
is, yeah.
I would be sweating.
So this is, and also you're sticking to a single line weight as well. Is that typical of your stuff? Do you vary the line weight later on, or?
I tend to stick to one weight with sort of the style that I do. The alternative would potentially be using the. Sorry, that's not it. I need to find where
width tool.
The width tool.
W.
Oh, it is the width.
Yeah, Shift W.
Yeah. So with the width tool, you can easily change the width of a certain part of it, and then sort of reduce a little bit stuff here like that, which is awesome. And I have done that in the past for certain things, but I think just over time I quite enjoyed just simple 7-point, not always 7-point, but a lot of the time
Yeah.
a 7-point brush. And yeah, sort of just worked for me. So yeah.
Sean, by the way, is saying the quietest fan I've ever heard. That's Tim. Tim's a fan of everyone, of course. Tim on the on the backside control room there. Getting plenty of hearts.
Yeah, Ollie, go, go, go. You're the biggest fan.
And he does cameos as well. Did I mention that?
That's great to hear.
And we're getting plenty of love hearts
Awesome.
over on YouTube, which is really nice.
Nice.
And Dave's saying, such a shame that big tower in Munich is closed for 2 years.
Big tower in Munich.
Yeah, in the centre. Or down the road.
Yeah, I hope that.
Have you had a chance to did you arrive yesterday?
I arrived late yesterday, so I haven't had a chance to explore, which is a real shame. But I definitely would like to come back and take the chance to just look around, because it looks really nice.
It's a fab city.
Yeah.
Really great city.
And so one thing that I like to do as well with the pen tool is, whilst you're in the pen mode, if you hold down Option or Alt, you can then click anywhere on this path to add the bend. So sometimes you don't have to worry about trying to create the perfect curve, because you can just do it after.
That's right.
And the next tool as well, which is a huge thing, is the shape builder. Which is Shift M normally.
That's it.
And then if you hold down Option as well, you can plus or minus. So I'm going to minus, which is great. And then I've got my eye. And then I like to also add a little sort of indent onto the eye. So that way I can just sort of just drag it inwards.
Cool.
And that will add the nice little indent, which I then need to rotate a little bit. Cool.
Nice.
And I think it's now just the hat.
Yeah, just that little bit on the chest there as well, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna
start with some primitive shapes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Sometimes you don't need to worry about drawing it.
That's what the tool's there for, right?
Yeah, exactly. You can just draw it into place. Then
And you're doing real good for time, by the way. We're not even halfway yet, so.
Oh, perfect.
Now we are.
Damn it. Okay.
we're not. We've got a few minutes before halfway.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm almost done with that outline. And again, with my sort of style, I sort of go with just a single tone for colour. So it's quite a quick process after this. I'll just add these.
And so you stick with the default black in there as well, right? You use the absolute black.
Yeah, sometimes. This one I'm going to go with a red, which I have in my swatch here. But then I'm also going to use, I'm going to come up with a few different colour variations.
Cool.
To then add into my carousel for Instagram.
And Lucy in the chat, by the way, calling you a pen tool wizard.
Yeah, it's...
And Jack's here. Hi, Jack.
I'm almost done. Those little bits.
So when you're holding down the Option key or Alt key,
yes,
when you're doing that, what you're actually doing is you're temporarily accessing the anchor point tool, which is in the pen tool family.
Yeah, and it's just really helpful for when you're, I mean, particularly with this sort of design that I'm doing, I can create my curve here, and then obviously I need to then take a straight curve back down, so I can then adjust my second anchor point to then be able to create the downward curve, which is perfect. I'm then going to, for what part do I need to do now? Oh, quickly.
Jack's just realised she's been typing with the caps lock key on.
That's great. Cool. So there's some overlapping paths that I have, which, so like here and here. So
Yep.
the way I remove these is using the scissor tool, which
Okay.
is C on the keyboard.
Cheers.
And then all you do is grab those sections that are overlapping
And cut them.
and and it's gone.
Yep.
I tend to create a whole path first and then from there cut away.
Yep.
It just helps keep the lines smooth, which is exactly what you want.
And Gareth's asking if this document is saved to the cloud, but it looks like a desktop document to me.
This is a desktop document.
Yeah. I think that's his way of quietly saying, have you saved recently?
You know what? That's very
It's
true.
pretty
That
good advice, I
That
think.
is very true. I
We used to have
haven't saved.
Annika used to appear in the chat, and
save
just
right
the
now.
first thing she would say was, "Hi, save."
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a
that's actually very
timely reminder.
true. Yeah. I'm going to use the pencil tool now. And if you double click on the pencil tool, you can adjust the fidelity. I'm going to chuck it the whole way up to smooth. Just for this little section here, so that I can just create a sort of simple, smooth shape. And then again, go into my outline mode where I can then adjust this to make sure it connects.
There we go.
Perfect. Connect these up quickly,
Yeah.
and then we're good.
And so this is important, right? Because when you go to use Live Paint earlier, it needs the sectors to be closed off, ideally, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So you quite often will get an error pop up where it will say, or well, not even an error. It will quite often just
won't
not,
do what you
just
want.
won't do. Yeah, which is always fun.
Let's go meh.
Yeah, just not today.
Yeah.
So yeah, making sure that they
Yeah.
are connected is exactly what you want.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so the outline is done. Looking good.
So Anton in the chat, I think it's Anton, is asking, why does the figure merging tool not work after applying a quick fill? Can you be a bit more specific for us, Anton? I'm not quite following that. Figure merging tool, do you mean the shape builder? So if you let me know, we can have a look at answering it.
So, oh, sorry.
Wow, that was quick.
So one thing that I have done, and what everyone should do, is
Create a dupe.
save a duplicate, because the amount of times that you think you're fine
Yep.
and then you're not. So I always save a duplicate and just make sure that
That's wisdom. Yeah.
it's always useful. Okay, so now that this is done, again, I'm going to head over to my Live Paint tool, which
Yep.
is K on the keyboard, and here it will just grab the swatch colours that I've got there.
Okay.
So I'm going to go with the black for only a few sections. I've just realised I forgot a certain part here,
Okay.
which is fine, because even in the Live Paint I can add to my design. So
Yeah, by going into isolation
Yes.
mode on it, right? And we
Yeah.
can see if you're not used to Illustrator, just so you know, that's by double clicking into that. You can see
Yes.
the breadcrumb trail that appears at the top of the document area. It tells you that you're in there, and so you can still work with it.
Perfect. Okay,
There we go.
forgot these guys. So yes, again,
I reckon this toucan was raised in Cornwall. What do you think?
Cornwall.
It looks like a Cornish toucan to me.
It could be.
Yeah.
I reckon so.
I think it's the hat, but
Yeah, it's a bit chilly up there,
Yeah.
isn't it? So. Cool. And then for the rest of it, you won't be able to see it here, so I'm just going to drag this across. The rest of it's just going to be a single colour. So to be able to quickly add all of this at once instead of going around for all of it, I am going to double click, and this shows that I have some lines added. Look at that.
yeah, you can see that's it, and that's
That
what
is
it's finding it.
exactly
Because
what
the
it's showing me.
appearance makes it look as if they're truly connected,
Yes.
which they're not, of course, just at the minute.
Yeah,
Um,
that exactly shows it.
There's a shortcut to activate snap to point, isn't there, Tony Harmer, to help clean up points. Snap to point is really a drawing operation, Gareth. So that's where you will draw and it will snap to a point. It's not a command in that way to clear it, but there are tools that you can use to do that. This is the trick. There you go. You
It's
found
always
it. Yeah.
the way. There's always one little.
So another
path.
way you can do that, of course, is with gap detection.
Yes.
So you can
which
always
is
turn
also
that
very
on. I don't know if
helpful.
you want to show that just to.
Yes.
So you should have it when you've got the live paint bucket. You haven't got it at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
there you go.
yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I should have clicked that. So yeah, when you go to live bucket, you can go to gap options,
That's it.
and there's obviously.
Yeah.
It helps if there are gaps that you want to keep, but then also it will show you
Yeah.
closed gaps. with
Visualizing
paths.
them is really good. You just get that tiny little
Yeah.
coloured bar. Now, typically here it would be red because that's the colour that's chosen above. So
Yep.
that's why I'm saying the coloured bar, because it could be whatever colour that they've got set up on
Absolutely.
their
Yeah.
machine. It's
Yeah.
really useful.
Yeah, so that should now colour in. Okay, everything is coloured. Perfect. Cool. So once I am now done with this in terms of the colouring, so I can just head up and expand, and that's now going to release me from the live paint. So I can now ungroup this, and as you can see, I now have my outline as
Yep.
well as the field option.
Nice.
So my next step in my list is to now expand my paths. So
Okay.
I will head up and press expand, and this is basically removing them from being a path to now being
Yep.
a solid stroke,
Yep.
solid fill.
Yep.
And then I'm going to, sorry, I need to ungroup this one more time. And then with this selected, I'm going to grab all of the black fill,
Yep.
and using the shape mode, I then collect unite, and
Yeah.
what that's done is now it's united my whole shape together.
Yep. So where did you let? So you what's the reason for you outlining all of the strokes there to expand them all?
So for me, it's because my next step is I like to create this sort of like bleed effect,
Yeah.
I guess. So with each thing, I can now sort of go in
Gotcha.
and I, using the curve, if you can see, it's
Yep.
very small for some reason. But
It's to do with the display that you were pushing out to. That's
okay.
all it is. Don't worry. It's
Okay.
nothing with your.
Yeah, well, this little guy
Yeah,
means
the corner
that I can,
widget.
yeah, means that I can now sort of
Nice.
create a little bit of a bleed onto these, and it's purely just an aesthetic part on for me.
Because for
but-
some processes, that's essential, right? In the, so vinyl cut graphics, for example, if you're having something that's cut out, it doesn't know what to do with it. Well, it does know what to do with the path, but you won't get the result that you're expecting from the path.
yeah.
So yeah,
So I think for me it's purely just an aesthetic thing, but I quite
Yeah.
like it.
no, I love it. It does. It makes it really charming. Makes the line work look like it's really like
It's a lot
brushwork.
smoother,
Like,
yeah.
it's connected.
Yeah, exactly. It just makes it feel smoother. I'm not following any specific overall curve. It's
So I'm
just,
totally going to borrow that now on my next.
no, you definitely should.
It's
really,
not occurred to me before to do that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's just a nice way to
I like
smooth
it
it out.
very much.
There's
Yeah,
quite-
it does. It does. It adds real charm to it. It's very nice.
there's some instances it hasn't happened yet, but
Yeah.
there's sometimes an instance where you'll have like an overlapping anchor points.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, here.
So it doesn't know which one to really
we've got-
curve, so it won't do anything. Yeah.
Yeah. So when that happens, I will use the minus.
Yeah.
And if you hold shift whilst holding the minus,
Yeah.
wrong one. Shift whilst holding the minus, you can remove an anchor point, but it will still try to keep the curve.
Yeah.
Which then allows you to then create more of a.
There you
speed
go.
bump.
You see.
Yeah.
Lovely.
So this is going to take a while.
Jack's saying, I always forget the name for filling the corners. It comes from print. Do you mean like the trap, Jack? And Sean is the same. From printing presses. Yeah, you don't want those angles. You do want that smooth thing quite often. It is a thing with trapping as well, to get things to overlay. But yeah, very rarely. Well, sharp corners tend not to actually appear in nature at all, or in the human world.
Yeah, and I wouldn't say that a toucan wearing a hat does much either, but it's still
the principle,
it's
rather.
still
Yeah.
it still
Yeah.
just feels, I don't know, it just softens the
Yeah.
the edges, which I personally quite like.
Yeah.
I think I'm almost done with this, and then the neck.
And it's not, and so though it's close, you know, I mean, you're doing it by hand, right? So it's not exactly uniform. The curvature isn't exactly uniform. It's sensitive to where you've got it. So where you've got those really, really steep angles and connections there, it's just kind of taking the edge off of those a bit.
Yeah.
And it does make it look as if it's drawn by brush, because when you're working with a brush like that, unless you're continuing, so we used to, there was a week when I was studying where all we had to do was rule lines with a brush.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not like all day.
Yeah,
But for whatever, you know, the graphic session we were doing in that day, we'd have a couple of sessions every day, and then you'd be working on project stuff in between. But we, Irene, by the way, thanks for this if you're still kicking around and watching. But in the unlikely event that that's the case, but yeah, you just have to rule lines with a brush. So you'd have an actual ruler, and then you'd tilt the ruler at an angle, and then you used to have to get the ferrule of the brush and run the brush along the ruler, and the objective was to be able to do a line of a consistent weight. And so in order to do that and get a corner, you'd overdraw each line, and then with a scalpel just knock away the end pieces from there. Because if you were doing a cartoon like this, you wouldn't do that. You'd brush it, and so to come towards the end where it's meeting another line, your brush would normally flare outwards a bit, or inwards. It would go one or the other, and so that's why the emulation looks so attractive, I think.
Okay. Jeez.
And there's another piece of useless information. There you go.
It's good you're full of wisdom.
Angus saying it's a trap. They're talking to the reference to trapping. And Sandrine saying, I had to do some trapping for something screen printed. It's the first time, a bit nerve-wracking. And trapping's a skill. I was taught to stick coins underneath the ruler to make it higher than the paper. Yeah, you can do that as well.
Coins under the paper, okay.
Yeah. You needed to raise it. It needed to be raised off the surface.
Okay.
So you can tell ancient artifacts like me, if you came into my studios and found metal rulers, you'd find they've all got masking tape on the back.
Ah, okay.
And the masking tape would just be to lift it off the surface just by that small amount, so that none of the ink would trap and run underneath it. So there you go.
Ancient ways of working.
Yeah, I mean, stone tablets had only just stopped when I started. Right, now Megan in the chat on YouTube is asking, what would your dream graphic design, what would be your dream graphic design or illustration commission be? So you could have anything. You've got a magic genie now, which is just saying that they're going to grant you one wish. Yeah, in terms of commission, you could have anything.
Really
what would it be?
Question. That is a really good question.
It's tough, right?
I think. I actually don't know.
It's hard, isn't it? When you
Yeah,
face that,
but-
if you could have literally anything.
Any commission.
So like Nike, Apple.
Yeah, see,
these are
that's-
the typical culprits. And given that I've just said one thing, I've got to say two more things in between before I can say Adidas.
Yes.
So like Coke, Pepsi.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, again, North Face is doing some really cool
Yeah.
t-shirts at the moment, kind of similar to the style that I do. So
Yep.
that
So
would
North
be
Face.
that
Yeah.
would be awesome. Yeah, or
Yeah.
just sort of, I mean, if I got like a really good like job for some like band merch or something like that,
Yep.
I think that would be really cool. Yeah, it would just be something like that. Would
Yeah.
be
Well,
pretty
if anyone
fun.
from North Face is watching, come
Yeah.
and hit Ollie up because he's primed, he's ready.
That would be amazing. I could do a toucan wearing a North Face. I mean, I could put North Face just on in his little bag. That would have been fine. Okay, I think I'm done with this bit, which is good. Just need to
Very
do the
good.
eye.
Sean in the chat is saying, does the sexy Gandalf grant wishes?
I think I'm talking about you.
Do you think that might be aimed at me actually?
I think
that
it
one,
is.
I think,
I think it is.
yeah.
Okay, so
Oliver's got rulers that are stepped underneath. And Angus is saying, same for masking tape on the adjustable set square on the drawing board. Yeah, there you go. See, that's another one coming out with the... I've been doing this for more than a couple of years.
yeah.
Stuff, so...
Okay, so my next step is to.
I do really love that look, you know. It's really good.
It's such a subtle thing, but I
Yeah.
think it makes such a big difference. So I'm now going to Command X, which is to cut this and bring it into a new layer. Still keep that as outline.
Oh, I so want to give you a tip right now.
Please go ahead. What was you about to show?
So, just undo a couple till you're back to not having that layer and having the line work on there.
Yeah.
Right, Command L for a new layer.
Okay.
Right, select your line work. And can you see in the layers panel that small dot? Not the circle, the dot next to it. Drag that up onto the layer above. You're done.
See?
That's called the proxy. That
See,
area.
you learn something
There
new.
you go.
I did not know you could do that.
Yeah,
That is.
but that means if you've got stuff on your clipboard that you want to keep on your clipboard,
Yeah.
it stays there. It's protected.
That is
Yeah.
awesome. I actually had no idea that was a
Yeah,
thing.
so you can move like, and if you wanted to copy that up onto a different layer, so let's say with your safety copy that you had earlier, you could always create a new layer from there, yeah, and then hold down the Alt or Option key and drag the proxy up, and it would drag that onto the new layer, and then all you need to do is just lock it and hide it. See, handy stuff, right? If I've saved you like 30 seconds in your life, my job is done. So
Oh, you 100% have, and I'll be making a video about this very soon on my Instagram.
there we go. We've got about 10 minutes left. We're around about.
Okay.
So we're doing good.
We are. I'm not sure. I'm just going to. Okay, I'll show you how I now add shading.
Yep.
But I'm gonna have to refer back to
The one you made earlier.
the one I made earlier because I think
yeah.
I'm a bit low on time now.
That's okay. Because you're going to jump into Express next, right? Is
Yes.
that-
Yeah.
cool.
So for my shading, I quite liked the sort of halftone dot effect.
Yeah.
So there's a few ways that you can do that. There's
Yep.
also brushes out there, but Adobe Illustrator also has some basic graphic brushes.
Yep.
So what I quite like to do for that is to literally just use the pencil tool, and I will just sort of go around sections that I want to create a bit of a shadow.
Nice. And it looks like you've got a little bit of smoothing turned on with the pencil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I want. Then for this bit I can go out with the lines.
Yeah.
I could be really strict and use the pen tool
Yeah.
to create it.
But I think it works better the way you're doing it.
It just feels a little bit smoother.
Yeah,
And then from here I can then select this shape and using the shape builder. Sorry. Remove that section there.
There you go.
And then here I can now go into the scale tool.
Yeah.
And just scale back
The pattern only.
The pattern only.
Yeah. Nice. Look at that.
So that is essentially what I would do for the rest of this shape.
Yeah.
Add in all of these sections
Of shade
Yes.
to them. Nice. Now Lucy is is excited to see what you're going to do in Express, as am I. I'm now like this. So what happens next? So you've got one you made earlier, right?
So I have one I made earlier because I was slightly scared that I might run out of time.
No, I think you were just wise. It's good.
Yeah, so here is the final design.
Nice.
So the end goal was to chuck in some text, and then as you can see here I've added some of the shading that I have around it, as well as the roughen effect, which is what I wanted to quickly show, which I didn't have enough time to do. But essentially what I do is grab my design and in effects, distort and transform, roughen, and then here it looks scary as hell.
It does.
But you can reduce the size, change relative to absolute,
Yeah.
and then you can add the detail, and all it does, it just really roughens up the shapes. This is duplicated now, so it's a bit
Can you imagine what that's? What I wonder what you felt like when you first ever used that effect. Probably someone said to you, "Yeah, you could use roughen to do this," and then you did it and thought, "What the?"
And and it's just like, no, thank you. But then after actually experimenting with it, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So how I use Adobe Express is I will create a post with these ones. So the first thing I do is head up to Asset Export.
Yep.
And I group each of my layers together, and then it's just simply dragging these in.
Yep.
I can name them if I want
Yeah.
in terms of order, and then simply export these. And then now I'm here in Adobe Express.
Yep.
I head over to the social media section. Mine's going to be going on to Instagram. I'm using the 1080 by 1350, so I will go with the Instagram ad template, which is the right format size for me. And then all I simply need to do is just head. Once again, made a slight mistake.
No, it's all good.
I need to include these two. Need to make sure that.
There we are.
And then that should show. Yes.
Perfect.
Cool. So now I can go in and simply drag these on, and then add another one to
Nice.
quickly build out my.
Jack's sharing the pain of the roughen effect by default. It's default.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the default settings are scary.
It does. It just makes it look crazy.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice that you still get a little pop-up bubble, like an informational bubble, when you use, or you don't get it so much with Live Paint anymore. You used to get it with Live Paint. But there's a couple of things where you get a little pop-up bubble. I think one of those attached to the roughen effect would be a good thing to have, right? Like saying,
for sure.
do this. If it's your first time using this, it could even say in there, hey, this looks a bit crazy now, right?
yeah. Just don't be alarmed.
And just show you how to calm it down.
Yeah, I think that would actually be massively helpful. So I've added in my 3 different variations here. So I just tick all 3 of them.
Yep.
Head up to share, schedule post, and then grab my linked Instagram account, And then here again, you can create your first comment if you want, and you can also add caption and stuff like that. So in the comments, I would probably have which variation do you like best? Oh, where's the question mark there?
Yeah. Sandrine, by the way, throwing in the Alt or Option. It's the keyboard shortcut to resize from the center in Express. Yeah, so that's the modifier that you'd use if you want to resize from the center.
Yes, sorry.
Option or Option. No apology necessary. All good.
And just have like yes, to can save auto correcting me the other way now.
The scheduler is so good.
It's so really helpful, especially for when you post over so many different social media platforms.
Yeah.
For a post like this, it's on Instagram and stuff. But obviously, if I post on TikTok and Pinterest and things like that, you can just so easily just.
And you can have 3 accounts per platform as well. So if you've got multiple accounts of things, you can just drop them. That is really good. And as far as I'm aware, it is the only scheduler with that functionality that doesn't have a price tag attached to it, and even people using the free version of Adobe Express can have access to the scheduler. That's crazy good, right?
Yeah. I mean, just being able to schedule things for me is massively helpful because I need to be organised, and there's nothing that's more organised than having a calendar in front of you telling you when each thing's done. So you also have the option to save it as a draft if you like. So if you're just for that double checking right before it goes live, save it as a draft is what I sometimes would like to do.
Yeah, it's a good way to plot out ideas too, right? To do that.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and then you simply just schedule, and then if I go to my calendar, you can see it's now sitting there in my schedule, ready to go tomorrow at 12 p.m.
There you go, fantastic. Oliver, thank you so much for that. It's been really a lot of fun. Really enjoyed it. So thanks ever so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Here on Adobe Live. It's been fantastic, and all of those handy tips, one of which I'm stealing.
So that's fine.
There we go. It's great stuff. Right, okay, coming up shortly, we've got Kieran coming back with Aseil. Oh gosh, I'm getting your name wrong. Aseil coming up with us in just a few minutes. So we'll be back after this short break. Okay, thanks everyone. Cheers, Oliver.
Thanks. Cheers.
Hello my friends and welcome back to Adobe Live, and today, as you know by now, we're in the real flow of Adobe Express and all things related in that space. And today I have the wonderful brand and web designer and Adobe ambassador, Aseil
Yes.
Designwolf. How are you doing, Aseil?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm very well. We're in the flow of Express today. We're going to be seeing your design process and seeing how you flow with it. I know you've got a lot of things planned for us, so we're excited.
I'm so excited.
Yeah?
Yes.
Cool. You folks are in for a treat. And as usual, I can see you've all been active on the chat today. So again, nothing's changed. Anything on YouTube, Behance, comments, please do get those in the chat and I'll make sure Aseil sees that while she is designing. Aseil, would you like to briefly introduce yourself to our lovely audience?
I'm Aseil, also known as Designwolf. I'm a brand and web designer, as well as Adobe Express ambassador, content creator, etc.
The list goes on.
The list goes on,
Nice. And for today, what we will be working on today?
We are going to be taking a look at this brand that I designed, and it's a photo booth brand.
Cool.
And I did a full branding for this client of mine. We did the whole logo, brand identity, the whole thing.
Nice.
We designed it on Illustrator.
Cool.
So we're going to take you through just quickly how it all started on Illustrator. But what we're actually going to show you is how we're going to build the brand kit on Adobe Express, and then from there we're going to do the whole brand kit, do mockups, templates, animate, publish, the whole thing.
Right, we've got a jam-packed hour, but I love it. I love that excitement and that vibe. And folks are already here for in the chat. They're here for the vibes and energy. So I'm excited to see what you create.
Excited.
Yeah. So let's jump into Express when you are ready.
Okay, we are in Express. Firstly, I'm just going to quickly show you this logo, this brand. So it's a photo booth company, and this is where, it was a long process, but this is the final look, right? These are all the logos. This is not blank. This is the logo in white, because we do black and white logos. Cool. These are the brand assets, but we're going to make some more on Express later.
Nice.
And these are all the logos. So one option you could do is create your library here. I think I already have it. Pose and post right here. And you can drag things and put them here. And then on Express, if you go to your libraries, you should see it. So like I should be able to drag this here and it should be able to show up. It's already here. It should show up on Express, which we have it here.
Nice.
So just for reference, you could work on Illustrator, and then if you go to libraries, you will be able to see it right here. But today we're going to do a full brand kit. In case you don't have Illustrator and you don't want to work with Illustrator, it's fine. We could do this on Express.
Nice.
So we're going to build the brand kit. It is kind of done, but I'm going to show you. So we split it into logos, colors, fonts, and assets. So this is what all the logos are. Also, if you wanted to add your logo, you just do plus, and then go like this is the brand identity, and go to the logos and PNGs and download them here.
Nice and neat and organised, by the way. I might add.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's a very thorough process that we do.
solid. I love it. Great.
But yeah, and then you can just you can add it. So when you go here, you have all your logos. This particular client has a main logo, secondary logo, a logo mark, a brand mark, a lot. And then we have colors here, and then again you can edit. You can also do a whole other color palette if you want. So if you wanted to split it into primary or secondary, you could do that.
Okay.
Or you could add more to it. Fun fact about this project is that every single color is named after a Taylor Swift song. Just
wow,
so Lavender Haze, All Too Well.
Do not test me on that knowledge, but I trust that they are.
Just for the Swifties out there, every single color is named after a Taylor Swift color.
Swifties
Taylor
in the
Swift
chat,
thing.
boom. There we go.
I do this thing where I name colors after specific things to the brand that I'm designing. So
Okay.
it's just sad that I can't put the name there. And then for fonts, we're gonna add a font because the header is Desire Pro, but I want to work with more colors, more fonts. So we're gonna add pop-ins to it, and pop-ins. No, I don't want that to be in the header. Edit that font. Let's go back to Desire Pro.
And whilst you're doing it, also thank you for showing us again how you jumped in Illustrator and you're working in Express. It's nice to know how the two can be integrated as well.
Yeah.
So it's we've touched on that quite a lot today in today's streams, but it's always nice to know.
Yeah, and here it is. Add logo. I found it. Add font.
Wicked.
That's the part I was looking for.
We got
Pop-ins. We're gonna add, and then pop-ins is like my safe option. But the other day I spotted a cool font on Express.
Ooh.
I think it's called. Bear with me. It starts with a B. Bicycle.
Starts with a B.
Bicycle. Bicyclette. That one here.
Okay.
Pop-ins is like the safe option.
Sure.
So all designers are not the biggest fan of this, but we're using
I mean,
it today.
I've got a soft spot for pop-ins. This is a few.
Me too.
Yeah.
I love it on a website.
Okay.
It's
Each
just
to
a bit
their own.
controversial. I feel like people want to be abstract
Okay.
and
I can
have more
dig it.
options. So yeah, it's okay. And then for assets. So we have these 2 assets. I'm just going to add one more asset to this. We're going to go back to our folder where I have neatly put everything. Okay, mockups, assets right here. And we're going to add the purple one. Yes,
Cool.
we're going to add that as well. Perfect. Now we have our brand kit ready to go. Am I missing anything? Templates. But you know what? This is what we're making today, the templates.
Okay.
So this is why it's empty, because we're gonna make it.
Nice.
Okay, so we're gonna start off. We've got the brand, okay?
Yep.
We're gonna do a mock-up for a tote bag.
Okay.
So let's go find a tote
Love
bag.
a good tote bag.
But you know what? I'm gonna be strategic. We're gonna do a post for Instagram. So let's just start off with the size of an Instagram post, because
Cool.
this is where it's gonna end up. And I'm gonna now look for a tote bag.
Nice.
I'm going to assume it's going to be in photos. Let's look for a
Should be a
tote.
strong collection of
Tote
bags.
bag. There is some iconic tote bags here. But where's the one?
Where is the
I
where's the
need one
What
that
pops
has...
out for you? What sings to you and say, pick me,
Do you know
I'm
what
the
it
tote
is?
bag?
Branding 101. Pick something that has some sort of emotion to it.
Okay.
Some sort of like feeling. Okay, that's what you need. I'm looking for like a shade, sun, you know? Something like that.
The precise
Here,
tote
this is
bag.
it.
You've
This
got
is the
it.
one.
You found it.
This is the one.
That
She's
is
the one.
tote bag.
It's giving summer. It's giving like, you know, because this giveaway is a summer giveaway. We're in August. I
Okay.
mean, it's barely summer, let's be for real. But this is what I think I'm going to
I
work
like it's kind
with.
of cropped up as well. Just that's an edge from the bottom, which is quite nice. It's not fully in place. It's slightly cropped up, which is cool.
Yeah, and you know what we could do? We could AI and like do a generative fill
Very
and
true.
extend it. Am I going to do that now? I'm not sure actually.
I kind of like it, kind of cropped
I
up
kinda
there.
like cropped
Yeah, I think it's
itself.
cool.
I think it's ready to have the branding now to it, okay?
That could work.
Now we have a variety of logos and I'm going to go with the secondary logo.
Okay.
So let's put in the secondary logo. Also, I did upload everything in PNG.
Nice.
Top tip for anyone that has a brand and wants to use Express. This is
For
the
those
one.
who don't know about that PNG ideas, again, transparent background, right? So it makes it
Yes.
easier to place
Yes.
logos on
It's
objects.
just the best way. Now, I want it to be kind of bleeding into it. So multiply is the one. But multiply is not doing much here. Multiply. Oh. Okay, fine.
Dissolved into the bag.
We'll
Yeah.
keep it. We'll just reduce the opacity a little bit. Just so that I want it to look like it belongs on the tote. Love that. Now let's have more of our brand.
Great logo, by the way.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Now we have a tagline for this brand and it's
Okay.
called "It's a forever type of thing."
Okay.
How cute!
Cool. I can dig it. I'm there
Yes.
for that.
Let's pretend it didn't take me hours and hours and days to come up with this tagline for the client, but yeah, it's a forever type of thing. That is that's the whole motto. So now I'm thinking let's go to elements.
Mm-hmm.
And I love a good disco ball. It's like the party thing to do. Oh my god, it's right here. Perfect.
Nice.
Perfect. I love how everything I want just shows up immediately.
It's like almost knows what you.
You know, it's just, it knows me, okay?
bespoke Gen I, especially for you. I love it.
I'm convinced there's some sort of algorithm. It just knows
Oh
me.
yeah, it knows your vibes.
But I do want this to be more. I want this to be more bled into it, like more
Okay.
integrated. Yes.
Okay, so I feel like it's kind of like slapped on. It's
Yes.
more integrated.
Like it's really capture
Embedded.
the mood.
I gotcha.
Embedded. Branding is all about emotions. Even this needs to
I
be.
love that.
The thing is, when I do that,
Yeah.
it ruins my whole color thing.
I like the kind of neon, kind of like drive the film kind of vibe from that. Then
Yeah, let's put it normal and just reduce opacity a little bit because that looks way too RGB. Okay, now I'm quite content. What else could we add? Obviously, this is going to be a brand because this is a giveaway, but you know, it's not actually a giveaway. This is brand awareness.
okay.
So this is why a company like this would do something like that. Now we're going to put this logo. This is a logo mark. So it's a little bit different, but it's still embodying the brand. I want to do multiply again. I think it's going to look a bit dull.
Because of the the contrast. No.
And you know what? We want this for a giveaway and we're posting this on Instagram. We need all the brightness we could get. So we're going to go normal. I'm going to
Yeah.
reduce it just a little bit because
Okay.
if we keep it at full like brightness,
It's gonna burn the rest of
it's
the
like
eyes.
let's not do that. That's outrageous. Okay, let's keep it nice and cute. Cutesy,
Love
very
it.
cutesy.
I love it.
Okay. Now I feel like we need a call to action. I think we need a call to action. I know, don't apply to brands. That is a cool feature though, apply to brand. We'll use that some other time.
Okay.
But what do I want? I want to do text. I want a call to action, and that will be the Instagram handle. Client, don't come for me. I don't remember your Instagram handle. Pose and post. No.
They're absolutely raging in the chat right now. The client don't
Booth?
know.
Is it
I'm
a
kidding. You're good.
booth?
You're good. And by the way, just to add, we've got some folks who are absolutely loving what they're seeing already in the early stage.
Fun.
We've got Funky Enough saying love the branding, and Lisa saying super excited. Just follow her on Instagram.
I love
There we
this.
go.
Guys, love that. Client, don't sue me for this because this might not be your right handle. I'm really sorry. But this is not in the brand. It's not the right brand font. We need the
Okay.
right brand font.
Okay, let's get that in there.
What do we do? Do we do Poppins? Do we do Anton? You know, I didn't add Anton, but Anton is such a staple font.
Okay.
Or do we do, what's the other font that I was raging
Which one
about
do you-
earlier? The bicycle one.
Yeah, we had a few folks actually liking that in the chat, which I like.
Oh, do we do bicycle?
Bicycle.
Do we keep it fun and
Let's have a look
fresh?
what Bicycle's saying.
Bicyclette. Yes, it's giving editorial. Okay,
Mm.
we'll do that.
Nice.
The vibe of this brand, by the way, was very like heavy on like glamour, like nostalgia. And the photo booth is actually quite like retro and like old school.
Nice.
So
I
it's
like it.
it's not any photo booth.
I'm getting those vibes from
It's a
it.
cool
Yeah.
photo booth. I like this and maybe we do. Let's put this. I don't want everything to be squashed, if I'm being honest. Let's just keep it like this. Keep it
Got
nice.
some nice breathing space, you mean?
So, yeah, it's okay. And we're gonna add, because you know, we're going full branded. I mean, I'm sorry, this is pretty much merch at this point. We're gonna do the website, of course, www.poseandpost.com. Client, do not come for me. I do not know your website. I am meant to be designing the website, but that's not happening just yet. Okay, post. Pose and post. To be seen if that is the right one, but here we are. Oh, what's happening? Where is the text?
It's working well though. It's coming together nicely.
Perfect. Do you think we should give more hierarchy to the Instagram handle or more hierarchy to the website? Because do you see those two are competing with each other?
Yeah, they're fighting, aren't they?
Sorry, like competition, do I? No. I'm thinking, do we do it light? Okay, wait, option. We can make it lighter.
Cool.
Because you don't want it to scream in your face. You don't want it like,
So you
photo
change
booth.
the weight. Okay.
So I'm thinking we're going
Gotcha.
to change the weight a little bit. And I think they both should have... Thing is, they're both the same size. Make this a little bit bigger. I think website should deserve a bit more. It's a proper like call to action. It's like, this is the website.
I guess you may stay longer potentially on the website, maybe.
Yeah.
So maybe that just should be a bit more.
I even think we
should.
should reduce that to light. Like, make this as minimal as possible. And you know what? I think those two don't deserve that much attention. We're going to make them smaller.
You can even do to actually mix it up, which is wild. You can actually sometimes take away the www. People just use the name and then .com.
Should I just do that?
You could do that. I feel like it will still work. I mean, don't come for me in the chat if it doesn't, but
should we
I'm
do
pretty
that?
sure it could do. I always think when it adds a URL, it's nice to just like, a bit
Yeah.
more cleaner.
Poseandpost.com.
Yeah, that's okay.
But now I think those two should be the same size. 24. Let's bring that to a 24. Perfect. I can see everything right here.
And again, in the chat, any advice or any tips or anything you would like to see Aseil do when we're in this process, please do let us know in the YouTube or Behance chat, and I will share that directly with her.
Love that. I think I want to say this is good. Do you think it's missing anything? I'm so tempted to put like a little sparkle, a little star, but let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Do you know what's what? Are you gonna? I'm just throwing it out there. In that sort of top right-hand corner, is anything going in that section? Because
No.
potentially, I mean, it doesn't have to.
Why? What are you thinking?
I mean, no pressure.
Okay, I was thinking of making the logo just bigger.
You can do that, yeah. I mean, of the actual. To be fair, maybe it doesn't need anything. Maybe because you've got the sun kind of shading coming off the edge of the paper. Maybe that's
Yeah,
enough.
maybe this a bit smaller because I'm thinking of it as actually a person holding it, walking around with it.
Yeah.
Call to action, call to action, call to action. It is a giveaway, but it does have a point, and the point is a brand awareness.
Cool.
So I think we want it to be as branded as possible,
Cool.
obnoxious as possible, and it screams "follow me."
And the disco ball kind of sits nicely in that E and T part, doesn't
Yeah.
it? So you're good for it.
I think we're okay. I
Yeah?
think let's download this because this will be our
Let's do it.
that will be our little thing. Okay.
How are you downloading it as a JPEG? I see.
Ah, yeah,
Okay.
I'm gonna do it JPEG.
Cool.
It does say that PNG is the best, but I like to use that when I don't want the background.
Gotcha.
But I think you're good with either. Also, if you downloaded this as a PDF and you brought it into Illustrator, you could release the clipping mask and these will all become assets.
Nice.
Fun fact.
Yeah. Thanks for mentioning. Again, that's really cool to mention. We've touched on it a lot today, but you can go from one to the other, i.e. Illustrator into Express, but also go from Express back into Illustrator, right?
Yeah.
So you can refine whichever page that you feel comfortable in.
This is why it's my favorite, because I can just like send things and then the client will just see it on Express and I'm like, yes.
This is how it's
I
done.
don't have
It's
to
simple.
export, send,
Yeah.
No, let's make
I
this
love it.
fast.
And you can lock some stuff as well, just so
Yeah.
people don't end
Yeah,
up
I love
moving.
that.
Just like stay within your comfort zone, stay within your parameters. It's cool.
You stay within your restrictions,
Exactly,
please. We're
exactly.
going to duplicate this because this
Okay.
is a story that we're building here. We've duplicated it because now we're going to now make our template.
Love it.
This is the part where we're going to tell everyone this is a tote bag giveaway. Shall I type in tote? Should I type in giveaway? Let's see if we have any options.
Ooh, okay.
A lot.
Quite a lot.
And you know what? I do like these. Like, I like this layering style. I do like these. But sometimes I like to have a look at all of these templates and be like, you know what? I like a bit of this. I like a bit of that. I'm going to make
Feels
my
for
own.
inspiration, right?
Yeah,
Of
like
course.
this, love. But I'm thinking I can recreate this and I can make it on brand. So I'm not going to edit it, but I am taking inspos.
That's totally fine. Totally fine. Inspiration to create your own bespoke design.
Yeah, but I do have a tendency where I keep scrolling just in case. just in
The
case.
forbidden scrolls. Like,
Just in case there's a better option.
the keyboard isn't stuck, by the way, my friends. It's actually just,
I'm just
going
looking.
through- There's a lot of options.
Let's see. No, I think we're okay.
You're good.
Like this, fun. Okay.
That is very cool. I do like that one.
No, this is me right now. I'm just downloading ideas. Downloading
Downloading ideas into the brain. I love that. All airdropped.
because we're gonna make our own thing. Okay. Okay. I have ideas.
Yes.
But we're gonna make our own thing.
Okay.
But I do like the layering, so I think let's start with that. Background. Is this on the right background color? Pose and post. Yes. Give me all too well. Perfect. It is ready for us. I'm gonna put a shape.
Just going back to the chat on that topic of inspiration, which obviously you can see Aseil has just been browsing through the library and seeing what's available. Where do you folks tend to get inspiration from? Let us know. Where do you do it? Getting out of the house, watching stuff online, watching Adobe Lives? I don't know. Just throwing some suggestions out there. Hint, hint. Let us know in the chat. We'd love to hear.
So we are gonna give this a border.
Okay.
How thick is this border? Oh my god, that's criminal. Let's not do that. Oh my god, this is outrageous. No. Please.
That was a solid border.
We're fun and
It's
cute.
more border than Phil, wasn't it?
Scary. And you know what? Do I want the purple? Do I want... We're going to go with this.
That's nice. Nice contrast, no?
Yes, this shade is called Timeless. And then we're going to use the other shade, which is Lavender Haze. We're going to do that. Because you know that layering style that I saw earlier? I'm really inspired by that.
Nice.
So I like that system. Let's make this a bit big. Oh, yes, like an overlap
Which
situation.
even works well with the really that sort of black outline as well, no? Works really well.
Yeah, because I'm thinking Instagram. Instagram wants like drama.
It wants
Visual.
drama.
It wants-
I've never heard that before. I love that.
It wants excitement, loud.
It wants a TV sitcom. I love that.
It
It's just
wants a huge RGB situation, okay? And that's what I'm delivering.
don't give it a CMYK. Just simply RGB. Can't handle
It
any
wants
more. than that.
RGB, and we're gonna give it what it wants. And
love
right
that.
now, I'm gonna turn this. I'm just making some layers, basically. I think when you make layers, it creates depth.
But you're putting things in place so you know what's going to go inside, no? So it's
Yeah, because this is what we're gonna put the tote bag in.
method to the madness. There we go.
But I feel like the tote bag needs to be huge. Okay. We've downloaded the tote bag, so it should be in my downloads.
No. So
Tote
that
bag.
frame will fit inside that lilac square, am I right?
Yes.
Cool.
Here we are. Tote bag, you're way too big. Right, let's bring this tote bag in. Oh, perfect. She's gonna be gorgeous. Gorgeous.
That's really well, the kind of contrast, actually. Really nice.
And also, I am using all brand colors, by the way. These are all from the brand.
Nice.
Now I kind of wish I went for the orange tagline, but it's okay. If anything we've duplicated, we can go back and change it.
There we go.
There we go. That was
it's very
the whole
easy to
point.
just end up, yeah.
Literally, it will take me 2 seconds, but I've now committed, so it's okay. And we're just gonna make that big. It fits.
Nice.
Center. Lush. I like
Looks
that.
really well.
I like that.
Yeah.
Fun.
You can dig it.
We've given it layers. We've given it now
Giving
we
it depth and emotion, like you said.
amazing.
Yeah.
Yes, amazing. Now we're just going to add the text,
Cool.
which is not the call to action, but what is this? This is a tote, let's do caps, tote. Do we do tote bag giveaway or tote giveaway?
Tote
giveaway.
Tote giveaway is less, no? Less words. Yeah, short and sweet.
Now, is giveaway one word, right?
Yes.
English is my second language, don't come for me. Okay.
Don't worry, you're in a safe space.
That's my go-to for everything. English
love
is
it.
my
Don't come
second
for me.
language.
If anyone does, don't worry, we'll protect you. You're in a safe space.
My only excuse for anything. It's not my first language. Okay. Now let's get it closer. Oh, okay, no. Sometimes my
What
clients.
font is that, by the way? It's,
That's Desire Pro,
okay.
which we added to the brand asset.
Yeah, nice. All on brand.
Fun fact, I think I designed, I'm not sure if this logo came from that font, but somewhere there, those two fonts are related. That's why
Okay.
we made them link. I think I'm going to give it a bit more space because,
Yeah, needs to breathe.
literally breathing. Let's think breathing space. I even think we went a bit too much with this. Let's bring that a bit down.
Give
We
that
need to
header some,
think.
equal
Breathe.
space.
Oh, lush. Lush.
Looking good, no?
Sorry, sometimes I just pause and look at it and I'm like,
Of course, you've got to do that. We've got to do that. Sit back.
Wait, hold on, you have to do the
We've got to do it in sync,
the
right?
zoom in, hold on a minute.
It's
the whole
beautiful,
bit,
yeah.
the
It's
whole-
such a thing on the Adobe Live when we do these. Like, folks get so lost in the design.
Yeah,
of
and
it, which
sometimes I'm
is
like, hold on a
healthy.
minute, what is going on here? Yeah, I have to look at it through so many angles. This is why I keep zooming in and out, guys.
Yeah, you're smashing it. Doing a great job.
But I think it's looking lush. We just need to put the call to action, which we did earlier.
Cool.
And we're gonna say, spread the news.
Okay.
Hello? Spread the news.
And just out of curiosity, I mean, this is whilst you're in the flow of that. Do you, within your own line of work, do you tend to have to use Express quite often to kind of churn out social media assets because it's quite quick and easy?
Yes,
Yeah?
yes.
Okay.
A lot. I think I wonder though if people can tell when I've used Express and when I haven't,
Ooh.
because I am very, very Illustrator heavy. But the amount of times you'll see Express all over my feed, my feed,
Yeah.
it plays a bigger role, and I wonder if people can tell the difference.
That's a
I'm
good question.
curious.
I think we touched on this in a few streams before, where you might, work on Express because it's quite, fairly simple, quite easy. And if you want to do some more fine tuning, you might bring it into more of a CC program, right? Like an Illustrator or Photoshop. So in a way, it's always tricky to tell, but this is why we do these Express tutorials to show how easy it is.
Yeah,
right, to
I
design.
like to make it seem that it's seamless. Like right now, you saw how I just took inspiration from the templates
Yeah.
and made my own template. So technically, this is an original piece of work, but there was inspiration. And you know what? The inspiration time, sometimes it takes me ages to find inspiration. So finding inspiration that quick,
Makes life easier.
it makes life easier because sometimes I just go on Express to get inspo, to be honest.
Yeah, nice.
And then adjust
Okay.
it. Even that just saves a lot of time. Tag your friends. Why do I feel like this is taking up all of our space? Let's make that
It's
a bit
the square in the
smaller.
middle, isn't it? Yeah.
Is this an Instagram? This is an Instagram.
It's interesting because it would seem as though
Instagram post?
it's filled up quite a lot, but maybe
Now I'm
slightly
thinking,
reduced.
should we just put tote bag on one line? Because
Yeah, it gives you more space, isn't it? If it's on
let's do it on one line. Let's just increase the size, make it bigger. Center. Oh, where's the center tool? It's my favorite tool.
Oh, the alignment.
Good old
Yeah.
center it for us, please. Oh my God, we're so outrageous. No.
Of course,
Come on,
yes.
Zed. Come on, Zed. This is not what I meant when I said center. We're just gonna center these two.
But it's interesting you showed us that because that can happen to quite a lot of us, right? Where you forget to.
Do you know what it is?
group.
I feel like if I grouped everything,
Yeah.
I would have done what I actually wanted to do. But
okay.
the reason why I haven't committed to the group, because I'm like, is this where we want it to be? I don't know.
But also you're showing us how it could be done if you made that mistake. So there we go. Everything's done for a reason, right?
Exactly.
It's smooth.
I will start grouping things because I feel like now let's get to the fun stuff, please, because I could spend hours figuring out layering and stuff. Okay, now we're just gonna commit to this decision.
Nice.
Center, middle, just let it live and be amazing. Spread the news, tag your friends.
Nice.
We could do with a call to action. Let's make that
And
smaller.
whilst you're doing that, it's a nice time to mention we're about half an hour into the stream, my friends. So again, just so if anyone who maybe just joined us in the chat, welcome. And today's all about all things Adobe Express, and we're working with some top UK creatives such as Aseil, and they're showing us how we use Adobe Express to streamline their own workflow. So again, any questions you have for the chat, please do let us know, and I'll make sure to share it with the wonderful Aseil.
Yes. Okay. Now we've put in the call to action.
Cool.
Which is tag your friends. This is our website. Oh, this could be a little bit bolder. Let's make it a little, no, not bigger. Is this as bold as this font goes? Yes. This
It's wide, isn't it? That's what makes it a little bit.
This is where Poppins comes in handy. Poppins comes in all sorts of thicknesses. But
Good
we've
old vanilla
committed to the
Poppins.
bicycle situation, so we're just going to keep it. Okay?
A lot of folks like
it's
that as well,
not the
so-
end of the world. We're just going to stick to this. We're just going to double check that I've actually aligned everything. Now that I've grouped everything, this should be perfect. This is it.
Nice.
This is it. But it is missing a little bit of like sprinkles.
Well, we've got some folks in the chat absolutely loving your process over. We've got Lucy who's saying Aseil with the Express design magic. There we go.
Yes.
Get your own little fan club happening now. This is great. Everyone is enjoying what they're seeing.
I've just brought in these stars
okay.
from like shapes or elements. I don't know where they came from. Okay, from here.
Okay,
Stars.
your elements.
From elements. And I just grabbed those in because I'm thinking we need a bit of zhuzh, we need a little bit of sparkle. It's fun. It's a photo booth. It's
Gonna make it
it's a
exciting.
party. We need to be in it. It's gonna be fun.
That actually works quite well in the two-tone colours, actually. Yeah, before.
Do you know why?
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because
Why?
those are the round colours.
I mean, it's almost as if it was planned, right? It's silly me.
Those are the brand colours. Hence why we love a brand kit.
There we
This
go.
will keep my client like on track, so they don't do something that I have not agreed on. You know, like this is what we
Yes.
want, guys. Okay, I'm loving it. This is nice.
Looking really good.
We've put. I'm just not convinced that this is all centered. I have this thing where no, it is. It is.
I think because I guess the gap between where you've got the spread the news. Sorry, that's our little doll on the desk. Which you can't
That
hear.
scared me.
That's perhaps the call to action is being weird. What's going on there with Dolly? There we go. It's quite close to the square. Maybe
Yeah.
if you bring it down a little.
There we go.
Sometimes the eye helps as well, right? We have the alignment tool, but sometimes doing it to eye also.
I think she's gorgeous.
So it's pretty good.
She's good to go. And then we're gonna obviously do a story version of this because duh. I'm just gonna add a disco ball. Just a disco ball.
I see a
and
theme
that's it.
today of disco
I'm sorry,
balls.
I just have to. Where is it? Elements, media.
You found a disco ball. So
I am,
feel
but you
like
know what? I am now debating maybe not because we have it in the mock-up, and I think that might be
a bit much.
bit much. We're just gonna.
But you can always do it, and if you don't like it,
Yes, we're
yeah,
gonna just do
there
this
you go.
real quick. See. That's fun. That's fun. Am I being extra?
Disco. Let us know. Would you like to see a disco ball in the stream?
Oh,
Let us
you know what?
chat.
You know what? You know what? Balloons, balloons, balloons.
Balloons. Okay.
Yes,
It's a
balloons.
serious party happening in this Insta Square. No messing
No,
around.
that's dramatic. No, that's it. I'm done.
Yeah, you're not
that's
gonna have
it.
any confetti flying from
Okay,
the
no.
outs. I'm just throwing ideas. I don't know. Like,
Duplicate. Let's duplicate. We made the mock-up, guys.
Cool.
We now took it into a
solid
post.
foundation.
Duplicate it. We're gonna turn it into a story, and this is where we're gonna animate. This is where I can have more fun with it because the reason why I thought let's just keep it as it is because I thought, you know what? Yeah, we have more space.
Nice.
This is the reason why. Now, story, I love. You have so much freedom. You can make things so much bigger. We can bring the call to actions lower and make them bigger, like right
Nice.
here. And you know what? You can also add learn more or like
Yeah.
a link. When you put it on story, you can put a link.
Add it on
so you
top.
can leave room for that.
Nice.
Perfect. Okay. And this is the part where this is why I prefer stories. Okay, let's be for real. Let's be honest. Because
more
I get to
space.
have so much space.
Yeah, you can breathe more. I get it.
Exactly. Let's
Yeah.
ungroup. Let's make this big.
And go wild as much as you want in the stories.
Yeah, because you have so much room. I always struggle with posts because I'm like I'm so tight for space. And you know what? Can we just group this? So yes. So when it moves all together. Perfect. Now that's more like it.
We've got a great
Nice.
comment from Michelle who said, and again, we've sort of touched on it before, but Michelle said, brand colors, brand assets, templates all work great in Express with brands features. Yes, they
That
do.
is so true.
That is why we do it, to make life easier for yourselves and to streamline your workflow.
Amazing. Oh, I feel like this is the part where I could bring in the disco balls.
You get. I feel like you've wanted to find a way to bring it in, and I feel like you've got a lot of space
Because
to bring
now
it in.
I feel like we have space.
You got space.
Now, earlier
Who am I to
thought-
deny you of your disco
You know what?
ball?
Earlier I thought we were limited. I thought, let's not be silly now.
That's an Insta post. That's not a story. We're
I
good for
thought,
it.
but story. People want to see things moving
Yeah.
on stories. They want fun.
Yeah.
They want it to
I
be.
mean, the ball needs to be like rotating, right?
Yes.
Like when we do the animation.
And you know what we're going to do? We're going to go and animate it and make it
Ooh.
exactly that.
There we go.
Let's put it right here. And this will grab our attention. Do we want to... Okay, this is my favorite part. Animation.
Oh,
Now, obviously this is going to be throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
So what are we thinking?
I mean,
Oh.
it's got to be rotating, though,
Jitter.
Sean. I mean, again, let us know in the chat. What would you like to see? How would you like to see the disco ball coming in?
Flicker?
We have so many options.
Spin.
Spin.
Oh my god, it could spin because
That's
it's a
wild.
disco ball.
It's wild. It's like they're not going to break dance and
Jitter.
move.
Bob.
Break dancing again.
Oh, I'm into that. What do you think? Okay, we're going to do what you want. What do you think?
Are you me? I mean, I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know what my brain was thinking straight away? But I feel like it's going to be a duplicate because
Hmm.
my brain's thinking I would like to maybe see it in another way slightly. It does not too well.
Wow.
So don't look at me like that. You're afraid.
I'm scared. I'm like, how much do I-
Potentially, like if because I guess you got that lot of excess
Yes.
space at the top, right? So if disco ball was perhaps in the center, and then it sits underneath the word tote giveaway, maybe. So you have that space above.
So you
But-
think it sits in the middle? That's what you're thinking?
In the middle, yeah, in the middle, but more at the very top. So then tote giveaway sits below.
Oh,
Maybe.
You know what? I like what you're thinking,
then
but I'm thinking more on the side because
Doing this
middle is just weird.
Is it weird?
Yeah, let's not do that.
I put a weird idea
let's
there.
not,
Sorry.
Let's not do that, please.
Every idea was no idea was a bad idea. This silly me.
I know I said I wanted your opinion, but
I mean, you wanted it, but it's okay. You knew in your mind what
Do
you
I
wanted
really
to
want
do.
your opinion? No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Just
I'm
throwing
joking. I'm
words.
joking. Hold on, no, I will do what you want. So, did you say to put it in the middle?
No, don't humour me now. I feel bad. I feel terrible. It's
We'll
giving
put it
my
in the
mates
middle.
to
It's
have this
fine.
banter.
We're gonna put it in the middle.
See.
Put it right here.
See, my friends, we have this banter. We have friends. We can actually have that conversation. I
Fun,
love
fun.
that.
And then, but
Yeah.
how I actually asked how
Yeah.
you wanted it to be.
Hold on to me. And is there a rotate one? There's not a rotate one, is it? The best one is spin, though.
Yeah,
Essentially, but that.
it's fun.
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I like it.
Do you
And you know
yeah,
what? It's not
go on.
that serious. We can always
It's not
change
that
it.
deep, is it?
We can really change it. I do think it looks a bit awkward being up there, so I'm
It's
just gonna.
awkward, it's
I'm
awkward.
sorry about that. I'm just gonna. I know you love that being there, but.
I mean, you're the Adobe Express.
But I will compromise with it, and you know
Professional,
what?
so
I'll
yeah.
make it bigger. I'll make it 2 lines, okay? And that way we won't have that awkward space. Do you see that? Design it on the spot right here.
Nice. You humored me by adding the 2 stack text.
Because
I'm
I
here
know,
for it.
I see what you saw. You
Yeah.
saw there's a gap, there's a negative space. We need to do something about it. I hear it.
But it works though.
I think it works. And I'm just gonna make these little things flicker.
Okay.
Okay, where's the flicker? We need it the whole
What have we
time.
got?
Flicker.
Oh, nice.
Oh, cute.
And I guess as well, we might have had examples where you could change the intensity, no? And it nice.
Oh, we could do that. Actually, yeah, let's do that. Let's do
Yeah.
that. How does that flicker? Do we want to?
There we go.
Let's reduce the speed. Reduce.
How wild do we wanna go?
intensity. Okay, I did 13 and 52. Let's do the same thing for here. 13.
I mean, all this design was making me think I really want a tote bag now. Just saying.
Oh.
Just saying. Maybe disco ball that's all.
Client, if you're watching this, please make this happen, please. Thank you. I've already done the design for you.
Hint here. That
It's
was
right
super
here.
smooth. Super
It's
smooth.
right here. I could send it to you right now. I could download it. Make it happen. Take it to the
Not
print
even
shop.
subtle. Not even.
And you know what? Fun fact: when you do
Yeah.
share, I think that you can add like crop marks and stuff.
Oh yeah, we could definitely can. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, when you download
Yeah.
it and you go to PDF, I'm
It's
pretty sure you
already-
can do some crops and stuff.
It's all set up.
Yeah,
It's all set
and
up.
you can it could be printed.
Nice.
Fine, if you're watching this.
And maybe to catch on the recap, right? So there we go. It's
Yes.
not as much.
We've animated this. Now let's have a look at what we just did. Is the flickering? No, that's
Ooh,
fun.
Yeah, it's looking cool.
It's fun.
Looking cool.
This is fun. Oh, I feel like no, the flicker is not flickering that.
Is it not
long.
flickering?
Yeah,
not flickering
I've
the way you want it
reduced
to?
the speed and I've reduced the intensity. Let's play now. No,
Essentially, it's one of these ones where, and for anyone who's very much Adobe Express literate, it's one of those ones where it's a bit of trial and error, no? You have to kind of play
Yeah.
it, do it, design it. So like,
Oh,
yeah.
hold on. Did you just see what I did?
No,
So
show me.
basically, they're flickering in off order, a bit like a shooting star. You know how the stars go. Da-da-da.
I
That's
got
what's
you.
happening. That's what's happening
Method
right
to
now.
the madness. I love it.
I just made that on the spot, by the way. So I don't know how I did that, but yeah.
That's the talent coming
Yeah.
through. That's talent coming through.
But
for
you
the
know
shows.
what? If you can click on it and you go
Yeah.
to the animation, you'll figure out the numbers, and then you just
Exactly.
you can offset it that way. So I think we're good. I think
Yeah.
we made the mock-up. I'm happy with this. Are
Looking
you?
good. I'm looking good. Looking good.
Gosh. Okay. We did the mock-up. We did the post. We did the story.
Nice.
Now this is for the tote. Now we're gonna do one more post because I feel like we need to really package this up before we publish it for the client.
Sounds good.
So when they are ready to launch their tote bag, and this will go, this will be all scheduled in. We're going to schedule this in later.
Cool.
But for now, let's do a recap because this client, not only are they going to give away a tote bag, they are going to do a story recap. So I'm thinking it's a photo booth brand. What could we do on stories? We could do, after like a photo shoot, they could do a story where they could recap the party from the week prior.
Okay.
So we could do a whole Polaroid thing because it's glam, it's glitzy, it's nostalgia. So we can do something like that.
Polaroid sounds good.
I'm thinking, like, that's another idea I'm thinking. Because remember, these are all part of the templates that we're going to put in the brand kit.
Gotcha.
So the client can go in there and edit it. And they could, if they have a, like every week, if they have a party, they can use the recap, switch the pictures, put their pictures. Giveaway, take out the tote, put something else. Maybe it's not a giveaway, maybe it's a...
You set the foundation, basically, as it
Do you know
were,
what I mean?
for them to
They
just
can go
run
in
with
there
it.
and they can just edit it however they please. So that's what we're going to do.
Nice.
And now we're going to do the recap for them. So that way we're going to set them up, okay? Now what should we
In a
type?
good way.
Yeah, I was in like, you're going to...
Not for a fall,
We're going to
but
set them
for
up
success.
for
There we go. For
success.
success. There we go.
For
We've got to brand
easiness.
that, right? Brand it on the
For
brand tag.
easiness. Seamlessness.
Set them up.
Photo... What am I going to write? Photo booth?
Curious to know what comes up now.
Oh, like this is the vibe. This is the vibe.
Okay.
This is what I'm
I
thinking.
do have a good Polaroid actually. They're quite cool.
Polaroid. That's the word I'm looking for.
Polaroid.
Oh, that's what I'm looking for.
So if it wasn't for the inspiration, I would have known to set the word.
That's what I was thinking of. But I want it to be story, like fun and vibes.
Vibes upon vibes.
But if I type story template, story template.
We are approaching, my friends, those 20 minutes, the final 20 minutes. So again, any questions you have for Aseil, what you'd like to see a design, any inspiration, or anything that you would like to put in there as options as well to design, let us know in the chat.
Photo, I've put story template. Now there is one I have in mind, but I just, photo album. I'm gonna try one more before we do our own thing. Album, maybe that's what I'm looking for, album. Do I need to write the word template? No, I don't, because this is what a template is.
I love the preciseness.
It's like,
I mean, 10 points for being very accurate.
You know what though, because I'm so used to Adobe Firefly, and with the prompt and the AI, Jen, you have to be very specific with your prompts to get what you want.
Yeah, these folks know they know what you want. It's all good.
Yeah. However, I am struggling to find it, so we will cheat the system a little bit and go to my favorites. Oh, there it is. It's in my favorites. Look at that.
It knows what you like. There we go.
This is the one. Add as a page. Now this is a legit template on Express. I'm just not sure why we couldn't find it. I think it's because I didn't put the right keywords in there. Sometimes, you just have to trial and error it.
Exactly.
Do we want to put text? Even if we did want to put text, this is off-brand. We need to quickly put brand. We need to brand this as ASAP. So what we could do is go to the brand. Brands, here we are. Pose and post, we're already on it. There's this feature right here. It says apply to brand. You could click on it. Oh my God, look at that.
Wow,
Branded.
That's looking strong.
It's putting together a different iteration of the fonts and the colors.
Saving you time.
The whole thing is doing it for us. So this client of mine, every single week, they could change the recap. We're gonna call this party recap.
Party recap. Okay.
And
strong word.
I'm thinking every week this client, they'll have a party every week, and every week they're gonna do a
Party
recap.
every week. They are pretty rock and roll. I love that.
They have to know.
I mean,
a
of
wedding
course.
every Saturday.
Party.
Come on.
God, imagine the budget, but I love it. I'm
wedding.
here for it.
No, this is a photo booth company.
Of course, yes.
So they are gonna be going to different weddings and
just take
events.
loads of food, right, and just having fun. Yeah.
So they could be recapping what people did. So yeah, what do we want? Because we used that orange a bit too much, I think. I feel like the one colour we didn't experiment with is this lilac-y. It's called lavender haze. This lavender haze.
We could work with that.
So I'm thinking, do we want that? That's a bit. Okay, let's remove this for now. Sometimes I have to remove things to think clearly.
Of course.
And you know what? I think we should go with white. Let's just go white. I know white is not part of the brand colours for this client of mine, but sometimes, because I'm a designer, I can do these things.
I feel like you can get away with
Clients,
white.
however,
or white,
don't.
yeah.
I'm joking. They can do whatever they want.
You draw
I
a line
never-
there, is it? Just like...
You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably put white in their color scheme. Party recap.
I feel like, is it, I don't know, sometimes you feel like that because it's like the foundation maybe like of paper or anything in general as a canvas, maybe you can get away with just, obviously colours on top would be branded, right?
Yeah.
Text, shapes,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Maybe get a bit
Funny
of
you
it.
say that because we give all logos in black and white.
Yeah.
Without brand colors, nothing. Even if we have a logo that is in charcoal, we will always give it as a black and white as well. Even if it is creamy, off white, whatever it is, black and white has to be.
Definitely.
So now that I'm thinking about it, I should have included black and white.
It's all good. It's all right.
It's
Food for thought.
It's okay. It's fine. It's a photo booth company. It's
Exactly.
fun. It's not that serious.
It's not that deep.
It's not that serious. But we need to make, I think I want more spacing. I want this to be bigger. And you know what? We're going to center it right here. Adobe's going to do this for us. The Express is going to do this for us. And you know what? We have the logo. And I'm going to put in the white logo.
Boom.
White logo, where are you? Don't tell
It's
me. I
basically
don't-
hiding from you. I can,
Here,
yeah.
found
it was
Do you
chicken too.
see? Do you see
That
how
looks good.
fun?
That looks good.
Party recap.
Looks good.
Fun.
And even better, legibility wise as well, it's actually on point, right? Again, it's the contrast of the dark and the white, which is super key, super
And
important.
I'm just quickly going to take out these pictures because we're going to put our own brand pictures.
Cool.
And now we can upload stuff from the client as the client hasn't quite launched yet. We're going to go to the photos. I'm going to put a photo booth. And there should be loads of options here. Perfect. This is, oh my God, all three that I want. Perfect. Now,
great time.
this looks a bit off brand. What we're going to do is we're going to make it moody and fun. And we're going to make this smaller, bring it here. We're going to add an effect, black and white, take it, send backwards.
Okay.
Perfect. This is exactly where we want it to be. Fun. Okay.
Nice.
Another one. Let's do something else. Do we want a lot of people in it? Yes, let's bring that in. The reason why I'm making it black and white is that in case the client has different, event happening, so that everything is on brand and goes seamless, I think black and white is a safe option. You can tell they've had a good time. You can tell. You don't need it to be in color
the
to
emotions.
express the emotion.
Of
You
course.
know it's fun. So let's take that
They're
send
not fake spells, they're definitely real, that I
backward.
can
Yeah,
tell.
there we go. We put that in. We might have some alignment issue, but that's okay. I'll go back and make sure everything is aligned correctly. Like things like that can be a bit annoying, so we could bring that.
Shunt up a little bit.
Yeah,
Cool.
orange, bring to front. But even then, we don't need it. We can always go in there and edit this however we want.
Just a little bit, I can see some folks have just been coming into the chat now. So if you have just joined us, a massive, massive welcome. Today, if you just joined us on the stream, it's all about all things Adobe Express. We're about 15 minutes to the end actually of the stream.
Yeah.
But by all means, get those questions and comments coming into the chat, and I will make sure I get them to Aseil while she designs some magic.
I feel like we need one more. Yeah. Well, we do need one more, but
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, do we need a lot of people all the time?
Maybe like 2 or 3, maybe just to it's a bit more, like besties.
Because I'm thinking we put a lot of people in there,
Yeah.
like not every day.
Mix it up, no? Some
Mix
besties
it
in
up.
there.
And you know what? I'm gonna make this also black and white. Because in my head, this is the kind of stuff she will be taking.
Okay.
And just in case she hasn't launched yet, I mean, she should be launching as we speak. In case she doesn't have a party coming up, like say there's a week. There's no party. We want something filler.
Okay.
You can either use a previous party that just happened or go on Express, find a photo, slot it in, and be like, this is a vibe. Like, create your own party,
Yeah.
advertise it, have fun. And I'm just going to make this a little bit brighter so that it looks like the rest of the
Nice.
the
All
other ones we have.
consistent. Nice.
I just went in and edited it, guys. That's all I did. Just so that it stays a bit like the rest of them. And I know they're a little bit off. They're not, it's not, oh, no, not that. As in, like, yeah, it's not the ratio. I need to go in and make sure everything is in the correct ratio. But yeah, everything.
Yeah, but I guess we get like a real sense of where you want to go with it, right? Which is cool.
Yeah. If I had a bit more time, I would make sure everything is in the right ratio.
It goes quick, right? I told you, like,
It's, like,
literally, we're
quick.
in our last 12 minutes, but it
But
does go
you get the vibe, right? You get it. We're gonna
looking
do. Yeah, this is it, pretty much.
Looks solid.
Obviously, in an ideal world, this would be all aligned perfectly. Layered correctly.
You even do some animations of each Polaroid falling over.
Yeah.
Falling up, but, I
Oh
mean,
my god.
I'm just
Oh my
throwing
god, that's
ideas.
such a good idea.
Was that a good idea? Okay.
That's such
I want to
a
have
good
I want to have
idea.
one good idea before the stream ended.
Stop
Rather
it.
than
Look at you coming through.
almost like a designer, right?
I'm impressed. But I was thinking like we
Yeah.
need to also add the tagline, of course.
There we go.
Duh. It's a forever type of thing. We have to add that.
That's hilarious.
And we're gonna put that right here. And you know what? We will animate that in a bit.
Nice.
But I think let's put that here.
Cool.
How
You're
cute.
treating us. I love
This
that.
is where we put the colour in. And just I like to triple check that everything is centered, you know? Because imagine sending something that isn't centered.
Not
Criminal.
cool. Not cool.
Not cool.
Align your shapes and tools, my friends. Objects.
And now I'm looking for those balloons. Do you remember?
It's fun, the balloons. The star ones? Or
Yes!
Yeah?
Yes. Stars, because it's fun. It's
Cool.
fun.
Although that pink dog one's quite hilarious, but that wouldn't work in this. No need for that.
Off-brand.
I'm just, yeah.
Kieran, that's off-brand.
I have to bring it back in. Sorry, that's the joys of being a host. Sometimes you just go
You-
slightly off piece, but we try and rein it back in, my friends. That's what we do.
We're thinking
Professionalism.
glamour.
Yeah,
Nostalgia.
nothing glamorous about a pink dog,
yeah,
is there? Just,
that's-
yeah.
yeah.
It's kind of parties I go to, clearly.
Yeah.
There we go. Yeah, I'm getting nostalgia vibes from those gold balloons.
However.
There's a strings attached to it as well. Am I just my
Yeah,
eyes?
it is. However,
Okay, yeah.
however though, this gold, not on brand.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to effects.
Okay.
Okay. Now I'm thinking this. Oh my god, that kind of
that
works.
looks
Hold
alright.
on a minute,
Yeah,
that
that
kind of
looks-
works.
It's a happy accident then. I love that.
Oh, I think this is what I was looking for. Well, here's the thing: is this too purpley, or do we go for this, which is a bit more subtle?
Let us know, chap. Are you on Team Purple or Team Silver balloons?
Yeah. Do we go for something like vibrant? Because those are not brand colors. But guys, it's okay. Brand colors are just a guide. We don't have to live by them. We could skew a little bit out.
Yeah.
This is more on brand, but I'm
It's tricky. What are you going towards? What's the first? Well, obviously I let the chat have their opinion, of course. But what
I'm
do you
thinking
vibing?
I'm on Instagram, I'm on story. What do I want to see? I want to see vibrant colors.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking
That does look nice, doesn't
what
it? The
about
gold, but then
this?
it's just like
just
But
having
you
a
kind of feel
predicament.
like
I'm having a predicament.
with the assets. Obviously, you got your Polaroid, your fonts, everything's on brand. But with these assets, maybe because they are literally just on top assets, you can get away
Yeah.
with it. Just trying to soften the blow here. Maybe you can, maybe you can't.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. We're gonna stick
Oh,
with the
okay.
purple.
We've got some people saying Team Silver. So
Silver.
there we
Oh,
go.
thanks, guys.
I mean,
Perfect.
chat is king, right? So and
Yes,
Queen and
silver.
everything else. So yeah,
They said this. They want this. Oh,
that's
fun.
what the people want.
Love
So
that.
you give what the people want. Oh, and then there we go.
Oh.
Team Gold is also popping in there. We've got Lucy. Lucy's stuck between Team Silver and Team Gold. You're giving us a dilemma, Lucy.
Oh
Lucy.
no, guys.
Genuine dilemma.
I'm stressed.
Got 10 minutes. We're stressing
That's
out.
stressing me out.
It's a good problem to have, to be fair, because
it is.
they're both good. So
But we will animate as we speak.
there we
which
go.
is
And that
good.
might change the opinion when you see animation, right?
Yeah, no, guys, please don't change your opinion. That's sad.
Keep it as it
Keep
is.
it.
We could duplicate. I'm just saying.
we
Let's-
could.
let's duplicate, save. That
Very-
way we can come back.
Very good. What are you thinking now? Appearance. Oh,
Oh.
oh, is this a new feature, Adobe? Hello.
It just came
When did this come through?
this morning. Actually, it just popped in.
did this
Actually, no, it
blur?
generally did it. It's always there. Just
my-
disclaimer.
why have I not used that?
That's good though, no?
I feel like I just discovered this. Okay, what are you thinking?
In terms of what action to use, animation.
Yeah.
Mm,
Oh, I feel like I always go for this. This is such a me thing to do.
Which one's that?
The wiggle.
wiggle.
Yeah, like let's do
It's just kind of like shaking between.
Yeah, let's do it. Well, let's control it a little bit more.
Team
Do
wiggle.
I want more
Yeah.
speed? I do want more speed. Yes, I want more speed. Do I want it to be more intense? Oh, that's a bit too intense. Okay, bring that down a bit. Fun.
Do you know what you could do? And don't just humour me for this. Possibly, maybe the strings are behind. So you know that second Polaroid you have in the middle.
Yes.
If it's to front. So basically the balloon is behind.
Oh my
so
God,
the
yes.
strings are not in the
Yes,
front.
let's do that, let's
so that
do
way
that.
when it's moving, it feels like it's
I
generally moving.
agree.
in front.
I agree.
Just
You are
throwing
right.
ideas out there.
However, where's my layers? Layers. You should be here. Oh,
Maybe
the
the-
layers
is it
are
the
off
screen?
screen. They're
Yeah.
off screen.
Oh,
Layers, come back.
It's that classic.
Layers.
There's just so many things to work
Well,
on.
guys, technically there should be my layers right there. I just can't see them. But you know what? Ideally, I would refresh the page and I would find them. But we're not going to risk it now because I can't lose all of this. It won't lose because it'll be saved. But no,
Of course.
we don't have that long. So let's take it center back. Oh, here we are. It's sent.
Yeah.
See,
I mean, it might work. Who knows? I'll just throw it
Yes, do you
there.
know what? There's always
Yeah.
options. There are options. Here we go. We've animated it. Do we animate this?
I feel like we did before, no? That's all neon.
Did we animate this?
Did we?
never animated
No,
this.
no. Maybe my brain I told myself we did. Maybe not.
We did play around with
That sort of in and out pulsating is quite nice, no?
Oh, this.
Possibly.
Fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that will give more attention to the call of action, which
Good
is
shout.
it's a forever type of thing. Brand awareness,
Of course.
brand recognition.
Except for the
Call to
balloons,
action.
obviously. The balloons, that's the only thing we've gone slightly off piece. But
Yeah.
that's okay. We've justified it because the chat wants to see
Yeah.
silver balloons.
No, I love
I'm just
it.
giving the chat what they want.
I think, oh my god, lush. Party recap. And then obviously if the client wants to like, you know, add text, the option's there.
Cool.
Options. Loads of options. But I think we're good.
Looking good.
Where did this come from? Get rid. No, thank you. Perfect.
They want to see more from you. That's what they're determined to see more
Perfect.
designs.
I think this is good.
It's looking solid.
This is good. I'm thinking these two might be going on a different day to this. Now I'm just thinking the publishing situation. We
schedule
could
merchandise.
perhaps publish all of them. Should we?
I feel like it's always, when I create content, it's always nice to kind of be, I guess, maybe a bit strategic with like placing things out maybe in the week. You know, I think the previous one we had, stream we just had, where it was more Monday morning.
Yeah.
And people are watching it more.
So here's what I'm thinking. Let's
What are you
schedule a
thinking?
post. Let's do the giveaway. That's important.
Okay.
I think stories, you could do those even on the day, but I do think this one should be scheduled specifically. This is the one that's going to kickstart this whole thing.
This is the boom.
Do you know what I realised? We never added a disco ball, but it's okay. You know, it's funny
Not a
how
disco ball.
do you know what's funny? We really went in with that disco ball and kind of ditched it.
I feel like the disco ball was only like partition, well, only for the stories.
It's sad. But you know what? I
There's
think
still
we're
time. I mean, if you wanted to put a disco ball in, you've got 6 minutes. To
6 minutes, but that's when I was planning my scheduling. We have a lot
you
to
plan your
schedule
schedule.
here.
You plan
We
your
have-
schedules. Who
we
am I
have-
to throw curveballs
Hold
like
on,
this?
you make me now think.
No.
No, I feel like we put a disco ball here.
Yeah.
And we put some balloons here,
Yeah.
party related.
Yeah.
We put a tagline there, call to action there, post. Perfect. See,
That is
this
what I
is
said.
good. I like that we get to see the plan. Like even if we want to build more things and schedule more things,
seen
we
it
can
in-
plan it
yeah,
all out.
as a whole.
And if we want to go in and edit the mock-up, the option is there. But you know what? I think I'm happy with this. Okay, sometimes less is more. Okay,
It is indeed.
we're just gonna plan this schedule the post. Hello, where are you? Okay, perfect. We're gonna
Nice.
schedule it to go. We're gonna do it as a post.
Just a quick word, do you tend to use this within your own like discipline as well, like scheduling posts to make life easier for yourself in general, or
If I'm ever ahead of schedule, which is very, very rare. Me being ahead of schedule, extremely rare. You know, I'm not.
don't tell the folks that.
Do you know
You're
what
gonna
it
keep it professional.
Do you know what it is with my clients?
Yeah.
Ahead of schedule, ahead.
Okay.
My stuff, Designwolf stuff, behind schedule.
Okay, you say
Do you see
that-
that?
there we go. Yeah,
Priority
yeah.
is always clients for me. Clients, they will get everything.
There we
Perfection.
go. Wow.
Me, myself, and I, we are not. We do things on the day. But
you make it work though.
But
yeah?
you know what? Sometimes in the morning, I will do a post and then
Yeah.
be like, you know what? That should go at 2 p.m. I do love a 2 p.m.
Okay.
post.
At 2 p.m. So precise.
Yeah, I like
what happens
it.
at 2 p.m.? Does anything
I
happen?
don't know. I feel like people are on lunch. Is it lunch? I don't know. I feel like people are scrolling. They're bored.
Fair, yeah, I hear you.
Or 3 p.m. They're like, oh, I can't be asked to work anymore. Let's
got 3 a.m.
scroll.
yeah.
3 p.m. Sorry, 3 p.m. They're like, can't be asked to work anymore. They're scrolling. I like to prioritize the scrolling time.
I hear you.
So yeah, but that would be on the day. As in, like
Sure.
if I did it at 10 a.m., I will be posting it for 3 p.m.
Gotcha.
But this client of ours, we're gonna do a week in advance.
Nice. You're so ahead of time. I love it.
We love that we have a generate AI thing so that it could generate it for us. Do I want to use it though? Is another question. We're gonna say enter. Let's do all caps. Enter our giveaway. Enter our giveaway spread.
I love the use of caps as well. It's like a real in your face.
Yeah.
Kind of, yeah. Boom.
Like spread the news.
Yeah. Literally. No messing around.
Tag your friends.
We're not quiet about this event. We're definitely singing to the hills.
Tag your friends. That's
Yeah.
what it says. You know what though? We could add some little emojis and that will soften it. Like
Yeah,
sparkle
I love an
emojis.
emoji to soften.
Friend, yeah, and that way it looks fun.
I
It
love
looks
that
cool.
to soften it.
Yeah, so it's not like in your face like you just said right now,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
that's we don't want
Yeah,
them to
good for
think.
it.
We don't want
It's so
them.
demanding.
Yeah, we don't want them to be like.
They're not scared of this event. They should be excited about it, not scared. That's the
We're
wrong
like we're so
emotion.
happy. We're so excited. We're gonna put this icon and what else? That's it. I think we're good. I think
Yeah.
we're good. Oh yeah. Balloons. Where's the balloon emoji?
I mean, I'm sold. I'm definitely sold on this event. I mean, just not much to do with the
Another
emojis
thing.
and
Stars. Party.
Surprised you didn't put disco ball emoji in there.
Oh my god,
Sorry,
yes!
I mean, I'm just
how could I forget
obviously
such
that
thing?
was the running theme.
That
to
is quite
say.
literally. Where's the disco ball? Oh my god, Kieran, it's not there.
The disco ball.
Disco ball, no way. No, it has to be there.
If you type in me party, see
Ball?
what pops up. Oh wow,
Um,
game changer night.
we're Excuse me, where are you?
Angel,
Okay,
the powers
party.
that be that eventually I'm sure they'll put
You know
disco
I
balls
use
in
that
there.
every day. Okay, fine. Here we go. That's fine.
I love how you've gone down. You've had to like deal with just the
That is so
party
sad.
popper just instead of the disco ball.
We are going to schedule it. We're going to schedule.
We're
We're
good
going
for
to
it.
schedule.
How are you planning your schedules? Mirror ball.
Oh, is this what it's called?
There we go.
Okay, no, yes. Okay, let's
We
take
were
that.
left to
Let's
stream
take that
so
out.
upset not knowing what.
Mirror. No, guys, it's not
No,
it.
just another mirror popped up. There we go.
I
It's
don't
okay.
think it's activated here.
But I think our folks get it though. I mean they know
okay,
like
it's okay. We'll just
put
put
football
party.
in there and be like it's disco related. Maybe people randomly get it. It's a ball. So there we go.
We'll put party. Okay, it's fine.
Cool.
I wonder if it can generate for us. Yes, generate a new caption. Go on.
Nice.
Oh, you can
We'll
shorten.
do a quick 2-minute generator. So
Yeah, go on. Give us. Spread the news. Tag your friends. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at that. Insert. Of
So
course.
much gems. they've
Exactly
given
what.
us.
Oh my god. It's put us. Enter our giveaway. Look, it even softened the whole thing for us.
Soften it, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It made us not so aggressive. We're gonna schedule. We're gonna put it. What is the date today? We're on the 29th.
29th today.
What is the current time?
Well, in Munich, just in case anyone's watching from a different time, of course. 4:55.
So let's
So-
schedule it for. Oh my god, we could even do the same day today. No, we're not. We have planned ahead. We're doing it on the
There we
5th
go.
of September
Okay.
at
We're living the future.
my
Okay,
favourite
there
time, which is 3 p.m. I did say 2 p.m., but you know, recently I've been experimenting with 3 p.m. So we're
Is it
gonna-
because we're in Munich and it's an hour difference from London?
Oh my God, I think that's why.
Maybe that's why.
That's why. That's why I
was
did
like,
today.
we're both from London, so we both know like our brains are an hour ahead difference. But
You
there
know
we
what I
go.
think? I think that's exactly what happened.
That's hilarious.
Oh my god. That's it, right?
yeah, it's
Post.
looking
Da-da-da-da-da. Oh, and there's this option here, so you can add if you have you can add more stuff to it. So
Like a little carousel, you mean?
Yeah,
Just,
yeah.
Nice.
the whole thing. I'm just quickly
Nice.
the ultimate skincare kit. Oh no. See, this is the part what I didn't read. It's the ultimate tote giveaway.
Nice. So we've got these last few seconds just to little round up, and then we are in a
Give
good place.
tote bag, and then that's it. I think that's it. We're
Nice.
good.
We're good.
We're good. We're good. We're
Solid.
schedule. We're gonna publish schedule.
Boom.
Done.
The big red button has been pressed. I love that.
We've scheduled
It
it.
has been awesome, Aseil, to sort of see your design process in Express. Thank you so much for joining us, Dave. You had
Thank
fun.
you for having me. I loved it.
It's been good. We've talked a lot of disco balls, but I'm still here for it. I'm fun for it.
Yeah.
So up next, my friends, we have somebody who's no stranger to Adobe Live, and actually you would have just saw him on the previous stream. Mr. Tony Harmer will be joining us very shortly. So stay tuned for that, and we will see you in the next 2 minutes or so. Ciao. Hello, my friends. We are back already. It's been so long. Mr. Tony Harmer, how you doing, friend?
Hello,
You
mate.
good?
I'm good. Yes, thank you.
I feel like a few folks have maybe watched us before on the stream, though. We've had
a few
past.
times.
Yeah, it's always been good. It's always been a laugh. So I'm expecting nothing less
I like
than
a laugh.
A good laugh.
I do, totally.
It makes my life a lot easier. And
Yeah.
our job a lot easier too. As you know, my friends, today is all about Adobe Express, and nothing has changed for our final stream of the day. We have got Mr. Tony. He will be showing us some really cool tips and tricks. And now we're going to jump into a bit of Illustrator. Am I correct?
We're going to start off with Illustrator.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to take a piece of Illustrator work through to Express.
Okay.
And play with it. So there'll be a little bit of animation in there that you've seen before, but also I've got something nobody should.
Ooh,
So there we
okay,
go.
nice.
So,
I feel like it's
that's it.
cat related, possibly. I just see.
It's always cat
yeah,
related.
it's silly, mate. I mean,
It's just amazing that, in fact, every stream we've done has been cat.
I see a theme. There we
Not
go.
space cats this time, which is
space
unusual.
cats.
So my general fan base will be crying right now. Where are the space cats?
I want to see cat emojis now popping up in the chat. Like just yes, let's bring on the cat emojis. But yes, like we said, as always, my friends, we like to see this is an engaging in stream. So again, any questions you want to see, have, or you want to see Tony do, please do get us in the chat, and I will share Mr. Tony directly. So
Yes,
when
fabulous.
you're ready, Tony,
so let's go.
jump into
Let's
it.
start it.
Yes.
Right. So here's a thing from my actual sketchbook. Just here, an image of a cat, which is going to be used in this particular project. There's going to be more than one cat, but I've prepared a couple earlier on. I learned from Ollie. You see, that's a good idea. I've done it anyway.
This is what I made earlier.
Okay, and so what I'm going to do is, here's my image on this particular layer. I'm just going to double click on that layer and turn it into a template. I've got mine set to dim to 30%, and so that's ready to go.
Nice.
Focus on the layer above. Okay, and then get this all ready to go. So first of all, I don't want any fill on this, I just want the stroke. So my fill has focus, you can tell that because it's in front, just here. So hitting the slash key, that turns that off. So no fill in there. It works in InDesign as well, by the way, just in case you needed to know.
Nice.
And I've got some colors that I'm going to use here. I'm going to use this blue, just from there like so. And then I'm going to set up my stroke. Again, it's going to have round end caps and also rounded corners. Nice. And then I'm going to set up the weight just here. I'm going to set mine to be about 12, something like that. In fact, pretty much exactly like that. 12, 13, somewhere in that ballpark.
Cool.
And then let's dive in and draw. So I'm going to draw with the CPT.
Okay.
The curvature pen tool.
Yeah.
It's my fave.
I'm glad you listed it out there fully. For anyone who didn't know straight away what that was, there we go.
So on a UK keyboard, Shift tilde will get you to the curvature pen tool. Of course, it's got its own little slot just here at the moment. Okay, so this one, unlike Ollie was using the pen tool earlier, which by default wants to draw straight line segments that you then bend. This one wants to draw curves. It's what it lives for. It lives to draw curves. Right, so we're going to go ahead and I'm just going to look for the kind of the maximum of a curve and simply click there like so. Of course, we don't see anything until I've clicked the second one. And then what I need to do is kind of make my way around like this and then just watch the banding there to see where the curve's going to go. Okay, and you'll see that it changes. So here it's just bent that curve a little bit, but when I come around to this side, it resolves itself. And if I need to move anything, I don't need to switch to another tool or switch to another shortcut. I can just carry on working around like that. And that actually is going to complete that ear there like so. Nice. So here I'm going to double click, which basically is like putting a corner point in. And then I'm just going to go ahead and click once in the middle just there and once here, double click again. So I've got sort of a curve going on in the middle there. If I zoom in, you can see it. There we go. But it will start off a brand new segment from here. So I'm just going to make my way around.
I feel like I can see in the chat already, we've opened the floodgates to cat puns, Tony.
Have we?
We've already got Latandre's on it, which I love, saying this is going to be perfect, and obviously per being many R's, I'm just saying.
Ooh, I'm subscribing to their newsletter.
Cat puns, we are here for it, my friends. I love it. And also, I can see a few comments on the YouTube as well about basically, can we chat on the YouTube with Behance? We can do both, my friends.
Yeah.
We're not restricted to one or the other. So again, any questions you have for Tony, YouTube or Behance, I have them both on my screen, so I will see them.
Yes. So there we go. I've just drawn those two things together just there. Let's move on a little bit around here. Okay, and now what I'm going to do is I want to draw a path coming off of here, but you can see there's a point there already. Right, so if I click on that, it will do something else. It might even add a point just on top of the other one. So here what I'm going to do is click. So I've added a new point, But then I'm going to drag it into place.
Okay.
And you can see that if you look at the path, just so, in fact, what I'm going to do, Kieran, just briefly, is I'm just going to go to this layer here, because at the moment it's showing up in grey, and I want it to show up in something that isn't blue. Yeah, so hopefully you can see it. So that should now, when I go over the top of that, you can see highlight in magenta. So you can see that now I know I'm exactly on that path. Right, so it's sort of eliminating another step from my work in this particular regard. So I'm just going to make my way around here. I'm going to do the whole shape of this arm up to about this point there. Perfect, like that. Then I'm going to hit escape to stop me drawing on that path, and then I'm just going to come along here and add in some detail. Again, I'm going to overdraw there and then bring that back in until I see the path. Escape again, back along here, and in fact I think I can do this really with one segment. I'm just going to do that. Doesn't really matter if it's straight, although if I change my mind, right, I can always go ahead and add something more to the path, or just click and bend the path out like so. And it's all about not switching tools too much. The more comfortable you are in one tool, then the better it will be. Okay, so here, making my way around, I can have a look at the other path in a second. In fact, when I get down to this end here, like so, that's where I'm just going to stop briefly. Okay, and then I'm going to make some adjustments here. I'm just going to move this point along, because I'm really looking at the curve that I want to get here. So I'm just going to move those two around. See, accidentally there, added another point, hitting delete, it's gone. So I don't need to worry about any switching to any tool or any other variant of the pen tool. Now, you can see the line there is wanting to create a new thing, but as soon as I come up to here, move that around.
Quick question, Tony. So usually when you're working within this space, do you tend to use the trap like you're using now, or do you use a tablet, or what's your...
So if I'm in the studio, I will use a Sense Labs PD24 typically to work on. So that's a display that I can draw directly to. But when I'm plotting points like this, it really doesn't matter what I'm using, because in fact plotting I'd normally do with a trackpad. So all of my machines have trackpads. I don't have any... I don't ever use a mouse these days.
Yeah, same actually, to be fair. I feel like it's a bit, I don't say dated, but very rare.
Yeah, not only that, after 2 bouts of hand surgery, I don't fancy going there.
The worst is very off-piece now is when you're on a flight and you're trying to, in a very small space with the hand. I feel like some other creators can relate to this, surely. You're trying your
Where's
best.
the mouse going to go? This is when you make really good friends.
Really good.
Do you mind if I just use your leg for a minute? Fine, that's great.
My hard drive on your head, please. Just don't mind the vibration from the hard drive. Just there we go. Note to self, folks, don't do that, because you might end up getting from the flight.
Yeah, you might. But,
there we go.
It's not an endorsement.
Off, please. Yeah, exactly.
From Kieran
oh God, no.
on how to work. But look, you see, I'm just drifting up here really, and just watching the feedback from the rubber banding there, just showing me where this is going to go. And any adjustments I want to make, you've seen how easy that is already. So I haven't got too many things to draw just here. So just tapping escape there, coming along to this point here, and making my way around into that. That is working pretty well. Just going to hold down the command key and just click on that path there, because I want to just work with that. And again, just make sure that those two things are connected. Okay, great stuff. Back over to this side now, tapping escape to stop the drawing operation from the tool. That sounds too technical. Stop myself drawing. Let's calm that down a bit.
On that topic of actually doing that, we've got Oliver Andrews said, when Tony's plotting, mwahaha. Oh, not that kind of plotting. There we go. They know you too well, Tony.
They do know me too well.
They know you too well. And also, I can see, don't worry, Nate, I haven't ignored your... We've got folks, and particularly Nate, who is putting in a lot of cat jokes. And I wouldn't be a good host if I just didn't give you one cat joke, because I'll save it to one. You ready for it?
Yeah.
What do cats like to draw? It's terrible now, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's a dad joke. Self-portrait. It's a portrait. I know. It's a dad. There we go. Even Tim can remember.
That sounded like the Adobe Express.
All aboard sort of thing. Oh mate, this is why we love our jobs. There we go. Thank you. I love it, and I love all the comments as well in the chat. You folks are super engaged in this one, so yes, keep them coming.
Actually, I want that sound again when we do get to Adobe Express. I definitely want a double toot on the whistle.
All aboard. Yes.
Right here, I want this kind of circle-like shape just here. So I'm just doing that.
Oh.
Thanks, Tim.
Oh.
It's more fun if you do it.
Super professional. I love it.
It sounds like we've got a sound effects hit.
Production has no budget. Clearly, here we're just going all out there. We just got sound. We got all sorts.
Right,
Yes.
okay, that's drawn. Now up to this point here, again, bringing the point into position just there. I want more cat jokes. Where's Nate's other cat jokes? Come on.
There was another one.
Gimme.
I don't know if you
Gimme.
can focus on both, but you can do both. You're
Gimme,
professional.
yeah.
Where was it? What colour do cats love the most? What colour do cats love the most? I mean, it's pretty an obvious one, right?
It's maybe because I'm drawing.
No,
I
you're
can't-
reluctant.
Yeah, go on.
Purple, but with the you get it.
I'm loving it too, Oz.
Nate, where are you getting these from, man? I mean, wherever you are, they're pretty solid.
It's probably Tim's big book of Tim's big book
Copying
of
and
dad
pasting.
jokes.
I love it. I love it. There we go.
Tim just made a non-threatening, threatening gesture to me.
With a cat on his left-hand shoulder, just like.
I added a
evil.
cat to our board today, by the way,
Did you
just
really?
to your
Oh.
left-hand side. Yeah.
I should have known it was you.
Yeah.
Silly me.
What's me?
There we go.
Right. So this point here.
Yeah.
And I'm actually, although I don't need to do this at this particular point, I am going to change this over to red, like so. So here, you can see in my sketch, I've widened the eye line to the side, to the left-hand side. So this is where I'm going to hold down Shift and tap W to get to the width tool. Again, Ollie showed this earlier on. I'm basically going to go out to this point here, okay, and just drag that out a little. Now, I'm not worried about the fact that the termination of the line is a rounded cap. That doesn't worry me at all. Everything on that side I think is going to be just fine. And then I'm just going to go ahead and come up to the profiles just here and click on this small icon to add a profile. Okay, and we'll just call that cat line. There we go. Which sounds like something you phone. Just like,
Yeah.
hello. And then I'm going to switch back to the curvature pen tool.
No cats were harmed in the making of the
No
production.
cats
Just
were
a
harmed
disclaimer.
at any
Yeah.
point. Yeah, absolutely.
Never will be. Just
No, not by us. The right. Okay, so I'm just going to hit escape just there because I've got that path. That I'm then going to do, okay, is I'm going to try this out. I'm going to tap I for the eyedropper tool and then click on this path
nice.
just here.
Saves some time.
Working pretty well, however, stroke in the wrong direction. So all I'm going to do is come up to the stroke panel just here and click like that. And that's solved, you see, in that go. All I need
Otherwise,
to
I'd
do
be giving you side eye, wouldn't he? If he was looking in
Side-eye.
one direction, just like this is a bit shifty.
Oh yeah, definitely with the side eye.
Bit of
There
a
you go,
dark
that's
alley.
better.
Yeah, there
the
we
great
go,
thing
that's
about
friendly.
this, by the way, is if you follow a line through there, so if you follow the line of the eye there and down past the nose and through, they connect. That's
cool.
kind of the way that
I got it.
I draw those things. Right, back to the curvature pen tool, tapping the escape key just there, and then just plotting these points here. Then I'm going to come up to this point here and double click just there, over to this point here and double click just there, and then resume my curves across like so. There we go, perfect. That's working pretty well. Just gone back to the selection tool here, just going to dial this up to 12. In fact, going to drop that in like that. Okay, and just tap A for a second and just got a couple of little bits of housework to do just here.
Yeah.
Let's just get that single
Tidy that
point on the side. I just want to bring that up a little way. Good stuff. Then select those 2 points. So I'll just tap Q to get the lasso tool. It's going to lasso in those 2 points, then back to the direct selection tool and just round those off a little bit so they're a little bit friendlier. There, happy cat nose. Back to the width point now, to the width tool, so Shift W for that, and then what I'm going to do is purposely come up to the middle of that bridge of the nose just there, okay, and click. Okay, just to add a width point. I don't really need to do it, I'm just dragging it out just a tiny bit there so it's easier for you to see. Then I'm going to go down to this end, okay, and I'm going to double click just here, and this time I'm going to do this numerically. I'm going to bring this total width here down to 1 millimeter, as you can see, just there, which is great, which means I can then go over to the other side, double click there and just type 1 in that field because it was already highlighted, and hit return, and there we go.
Nice.
You can now see, oh actually, did I do it at 1mm? Couldn't quite see that there. It looks like I've done it as something else, so I'll just go for 3 just for now. There we are. Perfect. That will do for now. Great stuff. Okay, now I've got that, I'm going to outline that path. Now, one of the things with using with profiles on here is that they won't work when you go into Live Paint. Right, they've got to be actual shapes in order to do that. So I'm going to outline here. Now I've mapped a shortcut to outline the path here, which is a useful thing to do, although you could also go to Object, Path and Outline Stroke there. But like I said, I mapped a shortcut to it.
Nice.
So that's done. And then have my Pathfinder panel here open. Okay, and I'm just going to choose Merge, which joins all of that stuff together.
Nice.
Right. Now the result is a group, which I can ungroup. I don't need it to be grouped right now. And that gives me this compound path here. So I'm going to double click on that, go into that thing there and delete that. And there you go. I've got that bit drawn nicely, and I can come back out of that.
Nice and neat.
Yeah, I think so. Let's get a regular ellipse here, or we could draw it because it takes like 4 clicks to draw an ellipse with this tool. There we go, like that. Done. And also it's not quite so computery. And we could do just a smaller one just here. I don't need to go to the extent of roughening these. Really loved Ollie's tip for corners and everything. That's great, not to have those sharp corners, loving that. So here, gonna just go ahead. Actually, I should have double clicked there.
It's probably a nice reminder to say, again, obviously we've had so many awesome UK creatives today, and this is very much, if this is your first stream of the day that you're watching now, welcome, and by all means you can rewatch the other previous streams that we had all today, because we've had folks touching on various programs, predominantly Illustrator and Express, of course, as well. So welcome.
Yeah, and it's all about Express today.
It is. Oh, there was no...
The Adobe Express didn't turn up.
Yeah.
What was going on?
I think it's delayed. Delayed at Paddington, perhaps. I don't know why. It's... I don't know why.
Replacement bus service.
Yeah, literally. We're having to... It's quicker to walk it, isn't it? Yeah. Bloody hell. Thanks, Tim. There we go. I love that. I love that. And folks are going strong in the chat with the cat still. I mean, the cat, yeah.
It's a thing, though, right?
It's
I'm
so
surprised.
Easy.
I was surprised that Claudi's not here doing.
I think Claudi's on the train actually. I saw she did a little post to us. So Claudia did drop in earlier on. Actually,
she'd be all over the cats.
Yeah, we should rewatch it maybe later and then maybe send us a tag on Insta. Who knows? We can live for that.
There we go. I think that's fine as it is. Just there. Right. I'm going to just draw this. This isn't the Adobe A. Just here. It's something that looks maybe slightly similar to it.
Okay, right. You fooled me then. Because I was like, hang on.
So I'll show you how I'm going to work with this. I'm imagining a centre line, okay, that goes through that shape, okay. And what I'm going to do here is, I'm still using the curvature pen tool, right. I'm going to click just here, and then I'm going to just add a couple more clicks in, okay. Then at the moment I've got a red fill, no stroke, so Shift X to swap those things over to start off with. Then I'm going to boost up the weight like this, okay, and then change a couple of bits in here. Again, rounded end caps and rounded joins on there. So you can see I'm just making my way around that like so, which is doing most of the work for me. Then I'm going to get into the width tool just here and just trim that end down there. Maybe keep this end as it is and trim this bit just a little bit just here. So let's do that. Just to bring that in. There we go. Looks like a kind of cute shape. That's. If I needed to model that any further, then of course I can. But I don't.
I'm glad you mentioned it wasn't the Adobe.
You could
afford me.
It's not the Adobe A.
It's all good.
If they want to buy it, yeah. Go for it.
You know, there'll be queue around the block. I love that. That is hilarious. I think it's because it's red as well, isn't it? It makes it even more. Yeah, it's like we'll recognise that logo.
My word.
But there we go. Disclaimer: it is not.
That needs another quick merge on there, by the way, because there's a tiny little slip in there. But anyway, what I can do is go along and just just work with that, okay, and do that. Do you get the feeling you're being watched?
A little bit, and not by these lovely streamers.
Not by the lovely people. Just get the feeling that something's watching us.
I don't know where it's coming from. You know that vibe. You just
but there's no one here.
It's odd.
Just so strange.
It feels like a kids' TV show, doesn't it? It's like behind you,
my
like.
ears are burning.
Yeah, some pantomime, aren't we? It's like it's behind you.
Oh my god!
Oh, save us, cat. Save us,
I'm
people.
calling HR.
But that's a problem. I think they're involved as well.
It might actually
It's
be
an inside
HR.
job. It's an inside job.
Oh my word!
That's hilarious.
Right, okay, moving swiftly on.
Can't put us on the stream together.
I think I'm actually going to attach that width profile to it just here. So let's scroll down and get my width profile from earlier. And of course, nothing's changed because it's width dependent. There we go. Right, and let's just put those end caps on as well. Sweet deal. Hitting escape, moving through there. How are we doing on time? We should be good.
We are
I think.
good, yeah. We're nearly approaching that kind of half-hour mark, but we are good for it.
Nice.
We are good for it.
This is what I like. Just hitting escape there to get around that and dropping in just a couple more. Whoops. A couple more whiskers.
Give it a little trim.
Yeah, that's it. This one's only got 2, unlike me.
Right, you're good.
And there we go. So we've got those. Of course, the 2 on the right-hand side, because of the direction of the path, that's all they're following there, is that path direction. Okay, because of those 2. So let's go ahead and switch the direction of those. There we go. And I might just want to move those around a little bit. After all, it was just a scamp in my sketchbook. Sweet deal.
Looking good.
Now, one of the ways that I know I can actually probably right now turn off the sketch because we're fine just there, and then select all of that lot. I thought something was moving. It's that rectangle in the background because that layer's not locked. And actually, I don't even need that rectangle now. I'm going to get rid of it. Oh yeah, I do, because I want you to be able to see where the colour's at. I'm going to select everything on my cat draw layer by clicking in the proxy region just there, so just to the side. What's letting me down there is I'm now against a pink background, so let's change this to something like orange where it should show up. Yeah, it should show up slightly better around there. And then I'm going to turn this into a live paint group. So Option Command X. Now it's telling me here that complex visual appearances, this is where I need to stop, right? Because what I haven't done, right, is I did it with the other shapes, but the complex visual appearances are coming from these things that are using the width profile.
Okay.
Right, so I could try actually selecting those and using objects here maybe to do that, or just going same appearance. Let's try that, but that's not going to work. So I'm just going to simply move through and just select those things manually, because it's not like there's a bazillion of them there, and then use my shortcut to outline those like so. That's it. This time, when I click on that proxy region, it should select everything there, and I shouldn't get the warning. There you go. Don't get the warning.
Short and sweet.
Done.
Love it.
So now tap K for my live paint bucket, and then go ahead, go to my swatches. So for this, I'm just going to fill chunks of this with white. Just here, there we go. That job's done, isn't it?
It's very quite fun about Live Bucket. Yeah,
satisfying.
It's very satisfying.
Very
I can't be the only
satisfying.
one in the chat. Let us know. I'm sure you all agree.
And doing that as well. Nice. I think that looks pretty good.
That's great.
Happy cat.
I was just going to think that. I was just going to say that actually.
Happy lucky cat. Oh, yeah, where I stay in Munich, by the way, I stay at the same place every time I'm here.
Yeah.
Where I stay, ooh, there's a bit that's not been filled in. I'm going to hold down there. Oh, I've got it there. Hold on, I thought I had moved colour. Where I stay, there's a mall underneath where I stay. And there's a shop that sells lucky cats. It's got a window full of lucky cats.
Okay.
I'm going back with another one
I
tomorrow.
was going to say. Oh, it's Tony again. Hello, mate. How you doing? I love that. Yeah. Get a good stock out. Good
Maybe
China.
tomorrow I'll get away with it because it came luggage only. Right. And luggage only, but
It's hilarious.
right, okay, so now I need to expand this. A few different ways I can do it. I've actually assigned a shortcut for that, right? But just as easy, it's the quick actions area here, okay, inside of the properties panel. That's it. No longer a live paint group. Nice. Okay, it's a single object just there. Okay, or a single group. Double clicking, however, to go into it, and I'm double clicking a couple of times until I get to these two things, and I'm just going to do Command 8 here to turn that into a compound path.
Nice.
So they're all joined together. Now I might have been able to get around that by using the merge command, which is typically what I do to get those things joined together. But here, that's just fine.
Okay.
Or as they are actually connected, I mean, I could, if I just undo that, I could actually switch to the shape builder here and just drag across those, and that's another way of doing it. So whichever way suits at the time. So just zooming out a tad, and what I want to do now is I want to add a pattern to that. Now here's one I made earlier, so I've got one here already that I made using text to pattern.
Nice.
Right, so I'm going to pop that in, but first I want the green in the background.
Okay.
And the pattern I have, doesn't have a background. In fact, if I double click on it, just here so you can see it.
Oh, wow.
So just did text to pattern, so Japanese flowers. This is what it gave me. Happy with that. It's great little element just there. It even tells me it's the name here was generated pattern. Nice. I mean, I could call it whatever I want.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Mikey, whatever.
I love that. Where did that come from? I was not expecting that, but yeah.
Cynthia, why not? It looks like
Gary
Cynthia.
and the lads, There we go,
There we go. But anyway, that's what it looks like, and all I did was go into there and click and take the background out of it. I did say do me one with transparent, but look, you see, now it's done that. It's applied the pattern. I don't want that just yet, because I'm just going to undo that, all right, to go back in. So hopefully that should go back to that. Perfect, we're in the right place. So I'm going to go to my appearance panel just here and add a new fill. So you can see the current fill it has is green. So undocumented shortcut this, and I've been saying this for so many years because it is undocumented. You can add a new fill by clicking on this icon just here, okay, and a new stroke by clicking this icon down here. But to add a new fill, Command or Control if you're on Windows, / and there you go. You've got a new fill, which means now I can choose my pattern just there, and now that looks a lot more fun. Yeah. Right. So there we go.
Very neat trick, that. Very neat.
Yeah, it works, I think. So that's pretty good. So we've got a nice, happy, lucky cat. I can take this thing just over here now, because we already know that cat's filled with white. It's a group. Oh, actually do want to do just one more thing. So while that's a group, I'm going to add another fill to the group. So before I added another fill to that path, now to the group. So Command / just there. Okay, I'm going to go and get my appearance panel open. Okay, and I'm going to drag that down underneath the contents of the group, like so, and then focus on it. Okay, it's important that you make the distinction here. These are not layers, they are attribute stacks. Okay, so it's a very, very different thing. So I've got that focused. I'm going to come down here to effects, and I'm going to choose path, offset path, and then just dial that up to whatever I want it to be. And black here is working pretty well because I can see that. I'm going to change the mitering to round, so if there's any sharp corners,
smoothing
we'll
out.
deal with those.
Nice.
Okay, so something like that is fine. I might just boost that up just one little bit because it might be shrunk down a tiny bit. There we go. That's super good. Then I'm going to change that to white, just here, and then dial that open because I don't want it to be fully on like that because it's confusing. There's no real contrast in between the edges of the shape, and it's a confusing thing to do. So here I'm going to go for the opacity for this effect only, and I'm going to dial that down to maybe, I don't know, 30%. Let's try that. Maybe a bit higher. So holding down Shift, hitting the up arrow on my keyboard, 40, 50, 60, 50 I liked, I think. So it's just a little bit of separation there. So it's kind of got its own little halo. And if I wanted to, I could also change that to screen, in which black is invisible, but that doesn't really matter for now. That's just fine.
That's looking great.
Okay, so that's good. Quick save while I'm at it. Nice. Okay, so in the interest of being fair and balanced, I'm going to get rid of the stroke thing there now because I don't need it because that will mess up what I'm doing in Express later, and also my backup A, just in case I needed that. Then I've got that. So here's cat 3. So we just turn off the main cat. So that cat's grooving it. Yeah, just there, and then another cat just here. Right. So we can have like this whole cat thing going on.
Cat Fiesta.
Cat Fiesta.
Yeah, okay.
There we go. So they're all like grooving around, doing their cat stuff like that. And I've got some text here, or a piece of text. Now I've chosen to use this particular typeface. I kind of like it.
Yeah, it's funky. I can do it.
It kind of works.
Powsy kind of vibes, but groovy.
The great thing is though, is that at one point I thought, shall I ask the chat to come up with typeface names? But I'm not going to go down to a mine.
You open the floodgates.
Yeah, I've been there before.
You've done this before.
Yes.
This is not his first stream, clearly. I love that.
Anyway, but the advantage is just to show you, this is built on a layer stack. So this is type on a path, right? And the effects that are around. So that key line around the outside and then the key line on top of that key line, they are both in the appearance panel, okay, as additional fills. You can see them there in that stack, right? The advantage there being that if I needed to, if I wanted to go and change the typeface, like to Ducky, you can see it inherits all of that stuff.
That's cool.
So rather than like outlining it and building all of that stuff and doing that,
it's already logged in and you can
again,
just...
yeah, it's working in just well. So instantly like
that's
that.
a cool tip to actually remember, actually,
Okay,
folks. Very
I've
cool
got to add one more piece of text here. This is where I'm going to run into trouble. Not in here, but anyway, I'm just going to put Adobe Creative Community, and I'm not even going to bother with capitals and all of that stuff. It's like, you know. Okay, so Adobe Creative Community, I'm going to select all of that, and then I've got a typeface in mind, because, you know, rehearsal.
Of course. We're professionals,
And then I'm just going to scroll over that to get that down. Adobe Creative Community. Okay, because Fabulous Claudia and Lucy and everyone else, sorry, Panna, all of those, are doing this fabulous thing in different cities. You know, going around.
Glasgow this week, I think it was.
Glasgow, yesterday. Yeah. And I
Yeah.
think something tonight. I don't know. Nikki McWilliams. Hi, Nikki. Thanks for the message this morning. She was doing one last night, and I think she had something else on the go today. I'm just going to do Shift Command C here to centre align that text, because that way I can click on that and it will align to the centre of the document. Now that I don't want to do anything with that type at the moment. I just want to leave that down there where it is. The rest of the type I'm going to add in Express, but before I do that, I just want to create a neat background here. So I'm going to just go ahead and check that all of those layers are locked. Going to go to the background. How are we on time? Just so
We're good. We're in our sort of final, 25 minutes, so we're in a good place.
I'm going to hit the / key on my keyboard, which gets me to the line tool, and then I want the polar grid tool. Now I haven't really messed with this, so it should be. Oh, it's not drawing exactly what I want. Just going to use my arrow keys here. To get rid of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16.
Whilst you're in the flow of that, it's a good chance to say, actually, obviously, as we're in our sort of final 25 minutes or so, anything you might have seen Tony do, any tips, tricks, shortcuts, if you want to see us to repeat it again, because obviously we're going quite quickly, then please do let us know. We can show that as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure we can do that. No, we can't.
We can do it. Or watch a recap, of course. That's why the recaps are there, right? You can watch a recap. We're on a strict timer. We need to keep. We've got a lot to do.
Anyway,
BBC iPlayer, I love that, yeah.
Oh, dear. Right, anyway, let me just ungroup all of that stuff just there and turn it into a live paint object, which weirdly, that shortcut suddenly stopped working. Let's just go for live paint and, oh no, it's a live paint object. It's just showing as a group. Oh no, there you are, my markers are there. Right, okay, K for the live paint bucket, gonna get my color from here. I really only want to couple this very light grey, so I'm gonna pop that in. There, if I get to the colour itself, of course, if there's going to be weirdness, it's going to happen right now. So there we go. We'll just go ahead. I'm just colouring in those slots just there, and then I've got a nice sort of pinkish colour, which I thought would be nice to go in there. So I've got this lovely little radial going just there. Now, I don't want to leave that outside of that. First of all, I'm going to centre that onto the artboard and then move it up. Just a tiny bit, so I'm going to switch to my selection tool and just bring that up to maybe actually about there, so it looks like the word party is shining.
Oh yeah, that's what you've done there.
Yeah, Option and Shift just to make that slightly bigger. There we go, great stuff. M for the rectangle tool, lining this up with this corner at the top here, clicking, drawing across. Oh, it's got a cute pattern on there. It was the last fill I applied. Oh dear. I'm actually just going to override something at the top here, so I'm going to just type 1080px just there, because that wasn't quite correct, and 1920px just there. Okay, good. Now I know that's in the right place. I can centre that on the artboard, give it a colour so it's easier, slightly less distracting to see.
Yeah.
Select both of those things, go for the pathfinders. This time I don't want the shapes mode, I actually do want a pathfinder, and the one I want is crop. Just there, and that didn't work, but okay, I'm going to do this a slightly different way. Don't quite know why that didn't work. Should have done. Oh, it's because it's still a group on top. Anyway, all is not lost. Shift D for the eraser tool. I'm going to hold down the Alt or Option key and switch this into area mode, and this is slightly more haphazard because I'm not using any measurements there. Whoops-a-daisy. Option key down, area mode like that. It's just a handy way to show that there is
Yeah, I did the same
an
thing.
area mode for this tool. Yeah, there we go, like that. Perfect. And I'm sure Express will forgive me for whoops, not holding down the Option key. There we go. It's kind of interesting. That looked like a Super T, which is me. You know my middle name now as well,
I
don't you?
do. It's not top secret anymore. I mean, that's the last one to find out, I think, perhaps. I don't know.
Okay, that's all good. That's saved. You know where it's time to go now?
I think I do.
We're going on board
Where is it?
of
We
the
gonna do it?
Adobe Express.
See if we... There we go. We
Sounds
don't
like-
scrape on production there, no. It's top value you're getting,
I'll
my
tell you what,
friends.
that sounded like it was a way off. Didn't sound anywhere. It didn't
Like
sound
Thomas
like it was
Tank Engine,
nearly
to be
here.
He had a few too many shandies. There we go. And I can see actually some folks are actually literally just joining now. So if you are just joining, welcome. Obviously, you would have missed a bit of Illustrator work that we've done, but you are in a good part because we are now in Express, which is what today's all about, all Express. So
Yes.
welcome. That train just I don't know what happened there. That last part got off the rails. But yeah, there we go.
Right, okay.
Final 17
Oh,
minutes.
I didn't give it a size. Da-da-da-da-da-da. I'll go use Instagram story. We'll do story. There we go. And yeah, that's going to happen. And then just going to hold down the Option key and drag from the center, hopefully. Why did I not get my layers, Kieran?
Oh, I mean,
That's
keeping us on our
interesting.
toes.
It's because it's grouped, that's why. Yeah. Super good. Okay. So I should be able to ungroup that. Nope. And all right, okay. The import there seems to have changed.
So we have to do it as
I think we'll have to do it again.
Bring it back
Yeah,
in.
we'll just do that again from
There you go.
from scratch. We'll go back to the big A. We'll do
I mean, it's a
that.
good lesson to show for folks who maybe do bring it in and
Yeah.
they realise, oh, what have I done here?
Okay,
Note to
so
self.
we've got a whole bunch of stuff here. Add it as a file as linked image. That's why. Right, okay, there we go. I should have been clicked on the one on the right hand side. There you are. So it's having a look at what's in there.
Nice.
Time remaining is...
We are good. 15 minutes.
Oh, that's right. I could do this
40
in
seconds.
slow-mo
There we
now.
go. Actually, someone did say, "Can you recap it, but in slow mo?" But I mean, that's a recap, right? That's a recap session in slow mo.
That does
Cup of
count as a
tea.
recap. Anyway, so we were starting while that's converting, right? Because I don't need to be in there while that's doing. So what we had here was we had a layered file to start off with. So I can recap that part. And in fact, if I turn the layers off, so this is the last thing we made, which was using the polar grid tool, switching off all of the concentric circles, setting this at an even number to get those radials the way I want them. Okay, if I needed that to be any different, then of course I could rotate the polar grid from there. Also, we traced off the cats, or the cat, there like so, added that key line around it, okay, and then you introduced to the other cats that are here, okay, and then we've got the words at the top there, but I want to add some more when we get back into Express. So that's where we went so far. In drawing the cats, we got also the we used the curvature pen tool in mainly doing that and live paint, and then some text about them. Although we didn't type that bit, but if we've got time, we can type that
Yeah,
on.
scrape it in there.
Yes. Anyway, here's everything. Here's all of our layered content.
Nice.
Interestingly split apart those things, but they're still there. That's not to worry about. And then we've got these, and I should be able to target that, and you can see those are all grouped together, which is kind of interesting. That should...
Do you want individual cats, or do you want them to be?
Yeah, they should be individual. There we go, ungroup.
Yeah, nice.
Perfect. The only thing is with that, sometimes, depending on the way you've built it, you can end up with a load of small stacks on there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
So this one should work. All right, let's move it. Nope. So this is where we'll have to dig down into this and find the various elements. And unfortunately, yeah, that's going to be tricky. So what I can do is go ahead and lock that background there.
Nice.
This group here, right, I can go ahead and group. They see that's all been split apart there also. And that is something that happens sometimes with the appearance. Now, as for ways around that, there are a few different ways I can approach it. In fact, given that we've got that time, yeah, what I could do if I wanted to, right, just to show you, is I could always go here into the actual file, okay, like so, and then I could rasterize that, or do what Ollie did, okay, and go to Asset Export, and then just hold down the Option key and drag
Nice,
that
just drag it in,
like so. So I've got the whole thing there, and we'll call that one Cat 1 because Cat 1 is the only one that's going to be doing anything today. Okay, and then just choose to export, and that's going to go into that folder. As a PNG, I already saw that we had that there. I should have mentioned that. We've got all of those different formats we could use. Might as well do Cat 2 and 3, actually, while we're at it. So let's go ahead and get all of those out. And then we can just make sure they're selected. So we'll drop that one in, and then go ahead. Because we can just replace those with PNGs to make it easier. Okay. Now, of course, I'm sure that my friends in the green room there will tell me something that I've forgotten about to bring those in as a single entity, but we'll have a look at that.
I feel like that did come up actually as a possibly by Sean, because he's very sharp on that eagle eye, which I do appreciate that. But again, this is all about giving you folks, of course, at home, or wherever you're watching from, a bit of an insight into it. And obviously, you know, we're cramming a lot in within an hour, but we're doing a lot. We're doing a lot.
We're working it. Okay. So that's all working now. We've got those things. So now I should be able to pick away at the things I want. So I don't want the text in there. It can be tricky to pick up that. Just like that. So we'll do that.
Just strip that cat, haven't you? Crikey.
Yeah. And now there's a ghost of just where the cat was. Now, interesting that those segments are there. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and upload here. So we'll go and do that, go into the folder, and we just want those PNGs. And the great news is they'll come in at the sizes I want them to be, and then I can move them around afterwards. So let's pop that down there. Let's pop that one up there. It does look like it might end up being animated just now. And let's just bring that one to the top of the stack, like that. Okay, that's cool. I'm going to just do a small piece of animation on the front there. You've already seen this earlier, so I don't need to kind of dwell on it. I'm just going to go for the animation here. Now I could animate the thing in or out from there, or I could just have it loop. And I just think I'll have it looping. So maybe like a wiggle. Wiggle would be cool. So we could do that. So it's got a little wiggle going on. We've got the timeline down at the bottom here. If I go for the timeline, we can see that and introduce.
You can even add some audio as well, right? I mean, there's a
we
different
could, we could add audio. Yeah. But for now, we're going to do that. We might as well add some to the other two, because otherwise, you know, they're going to feel left out. What I really like about these things, and I do use this when I'm typically though from Photoshop, when I do use this and bring these things in, it's because I haven't got the time to run into After Effects to do it in there. I just need to get the thing across to get it started, and that's. It just makes it.
That's a really great point. I think we touched on this perhaps in the last two streams, where even if you are a seasoned pro creative working in you know all sorts of Adobe programs, you're still able to jump back into like an Express. Which, you know, sometimes it could be for people who are right new to the space, but then again, it's for people who need things perhaps on the go and quick. So the foundation is there. It's a great point.
So the only thing I'm varying here is I've changed the speed of that. Okay, and I've changed the intensity of it. Some of these things are expressed as personality, which I love. Okay, but let's go with that. And let's add an animation just there. In fact, I can do that again. So the looping animation is going to be a wiggle, and then clicking on there to access the controls. And let's make this one faster and more intense. And of course, we get to see that from there. That looks good.
He's having a great time there, man. Crikey. He's seen a few things.
If we wanted to animate those separately, by the way, we could turn on show layer timing, and then whichever thing is selected. So maybe if we didn't want one of those to come in at a certain point, then we could change all of that just there. And I've got to be honest, that particular interface for animation is, at this level, is very cool. All right, you don't get to do too much with the actual animation itself, but to be able to schedule it or sequence it in that way.
It's a much more simplified timeline, no? Just to get you going.
Okay. So I'm just going to collapse the timeline just there. I'm going to add some text here. So I'm going to add my text, and we're going to call this Hang Out with the Cool Cats.
I love that.
Don't laugh. You're just encouraging me.
Sorry. I tried to hold it back as a professional host, but it was too much. It was great. Hang Out with the Cool Cats.
Yeah. Okay. So I want that on a single line. I'm going to make it smaller. In terms of typeface, I was just thinking of, let's see if I've got Corpulent on here already.
Is that one of your favourites? Or?
No, it just matches what I'm doing there. So
cool.
No. Corpulent regular, there we go.
Nice.
Okay. Do you know what? I'll leave that over 2 lines. So, and I will make it larger.
Nice.
Okay.
Just a reminder, we are approaching the final 8 minutes, my friends, of this stream. So any questions you have for Mr. Tony and what we're designing on Express, please do let us know for this final 8 minutes.
Okay. Do you know what? I think I am going to stick with that as a single line.
Single line.
There's a line to go underneath it
Okay.
as well. So I'm just going to go ahead and make that smaller, like so. Okay, that's cool. And bring that in. And then underneath that, in fact, I could option drag a copy of that down. And let's, oops-a-daisy. Let's go ahead and type Munich. Just here, just for the time being. I don't know why I'm holding down the shift key. I've got it on caps lock on, but
that would be a force of habit, actually, wouldn't it? Just like I've done the same thing. To
yeah. Let's make that slightly bigger. Okay, and leave the same amount of space for it. Okay, but there we are. Right, so so we might have that like that. Centering on the artboard, fine. I've noticed that you can see where I trimmed away too much of the side just there. But the main thing is this, right? Is that now that I've done this, I might actually want to output this for several different places. Let me just go and fit the whole thing just here. I might want to output this in German for the German communities. I might want to output this in French for the French communities, and of course English for the English communities, and so on. In fact, the number of places that I could repurpose this, and I've used this in live projects, and I've had it checked. I did a massive document or massive presentation for an Italian company, and they needed this technical documentation, and it was deeply technical, translating from English into Italian for the Italian market. So it's a company that's owned in the UK but operates in Italy. And I thought, well, I've already got the PDF for the presentation, so I bought the PDF into Express and then used the translate feature on it, and then had it checked. So I was taking segments out of it and checking it in Google Translate, and it seemed like okay. It even got the tone of the text correct, and then it was checked over by a specialist in Italy to make sure it was right, and it was 100%.
That's awesome. That's
100%. But here's the thing. So if I go to translate just here, it shows me all the stuff that's live text there. Now, party, I didn't really want to. I should have outlined that when I was in Illustrator, but we don't need to worry about that. I would say trying to squeeze all of this into an hour. So from translate here, I can say translate this to, right? And it's worth me zooming in on this. The zoom should work perfectly well. Just catch this in terms of languages.
Crikey, that's a lot.
Now, even, so I work in Barcelona a couple of times a year. Back there, sure. You can see Catalan is in there. Yeah. So it's not just being done into generic Spanish, which of course seems a little bit disrespectful. The fact that I can actually get that in Catalan,
regional,
and you've got you've got regional language in there as well. So there we are. Now, you could translate this into English, but let's try. We can try. Given that we happen to strangely,
it would make sense. Wouldn't
strangely
it?
have.
It would be on brand, wouldn't it?
And our German expert is just making.
There he is. Yeah.
So I'm going to say duplicate and translate.
Is it real?
Let's just see how it deals. So do you want me to zoom in on that?
This is awkward now if it's wrong, wouldn't it? It'd be
so how does that work for you? Does the sense of it come across in the same way, or is it?
Could you read it out for me?
Hang
Yeah, hang on with the cool cats.
Yeah,
there you go.
That's pretty good. Right,
hey, 10 points to Gryffindor. I love it. There we go. That'd be awkward, wouldn't it, if you got that?
Yeah, no, well, now something. This is important to say. Something strange has happened at the top here.
Okay.
Right. That's why I should have outlined that. But all I need to do there, right, is basically to remove that and replace it with an image. But even at the top, Creative Community von Adobe is there at the top. So it's done all of that stuff, which is the point I'm trying to make here.
Yeah, that's great.
So we can go ahead and let's do it one more time in French here. So, whoops-a-daisy. And do translate, and let's say this time to French. I can start typing it and it will filter for me. There's French like so. So, whoops. Silly Tony. There we go. And it's saying, what do you want to select? Oh, if I do that one more time, I'm going to hit myself.
Don't do that.
With something soft.
Okay.
That foam hand that's next door. Right. So I'm just going to turn off page 2, right? Because I don't need to translate. That's already been done. But the thing is, you can batch it. So if you've got a whole bunch of different languages, so if I really was doing this for the European creative communities, which I'm not, I was just pretend, right? Then I could say do this in French, German, English at the same time. Just tick it, and boom, it just gives me a document that's got those pages in. So let's just say duplicate and translate, and it's the speed at which it does it as well.
It's so much time though.
So there we go.
That's great. And I feel like for those kind of tips and kind of tricks, it's like it will be so useful for folks kind of learning about this process, tools, and even more importantly, people from different backgrounds, right, can feel like they're included. So great feature.
It's interesting also that it's chosen different representations for those characters going across. But this is one of the things you learn about as you do it. If you think, okay, and I did say when I was in the Illustrator thing, I should have outlined that.
Yeah.
So it was then graphics, and maybe even turn that into an image there particularly. But that's something that can be fixed,
of course,
fairly quickly. So
solid. Yeah. We've cracked in so much within that space of an hour. I mean, that's what we do. We've had a wave of UK top creatives such as Tony.
We haven't had the Tony Harmer show for ages.
That's a very long. That's all about yourself, isn't it? Today, I love that. And again, thank you so much for everyone who has joined, who has watched today, who's got involved in the chat, who's put the cat puns in there, all sorts. You've all been wonderful, and hopefully, more importantly, you've actually learned something about Express, and hopefully something you could do within your own line of work to make your life easier and to streamline your work flow. So on that note, my friends, we're going to love you and leave you, and hopefully we'll see you again very, very soon. So until that note, see you very soon. Ciao.
Bye.